Alright, good evening. Welcome back to the next instalment of the Burning Blades. So last time saw some rather disappointing ventures out into the city of Elturel. Gotrek first trying his luck, seeing if he can find a smithy, and quickly discovering that the city of Law and Order is rather literal in that sense, and he couldn't get access to finding the Guild of Smiths. Found that he couldn't even get access to the blacksmith floor itself. Asking around, discovered that the only place that you could sell or buy magic items was the Hall of Trade Transactions, part of the admin district of the High City. Someone got a mouse. Getting there, discovering that their prices, both buying and selling, were outrageous, which rather undermined your hopes for making a profit there. Seriously, Gortrek, have you got a mouse or something? I can just hear some squeaking going on from your mic.
I'm sorry. I will fix it.
It's bizarre. It just got worse. The mouse is going mental. Right, I'm just going to mute you for a second while I finish the intro. You also headed along to Temple District, where you spotted Ruri particularly. You confirmed that there was like a representation for pretty much every major deity and a lot of the minor ones. Seeing that Torm held the position of pride of place amongst the Temple District, having this almost cathedral-like building dedicated to Torm, and everyone else had to make do with what was more like a chapel, or even smaller than that, some appearing a little more than a shrine. You did see the chapel to Bane, which you poked your head in. It seemed strangely empty, not so much abandoned, just there was no one there. You did spot there was a small draconic section, kind of like a street with a few of the draconic chapels on it, which you did notice that the chapel to Bahamut had a little kind of fresco out the front which depicted Bahamut casting down Tiamat, but also seemed to depict a somewhat more skeletal draconic figure that rang a bell with you. But looking around more, you discovered a small chapel that was dedicated to both Joaquin and Lyra, which was run by a married couple, two halflings, Shayna and Merla. And getting in there, both of their good graces, mostly by dint of being a follower of Lyra, you're able to find out from the priestess of Joaquin that there was a somewhat unlicensed trader that operated within the city of Elturel, a individual named Strux. You were advised to return to Black Antlers and ask around. You did so. And going up to wait in your room, you were then visited by a rather portly and finely dressed goblin, who introduced himself as Strux Viviard. In fact, his full title... What did he call himself? I can't even remember.
We don't need to hear the full title.
You do. It's important. Yeah. The Grand and Esteemed Strux Viviard, to whom you bought and sold a few items, getting some useful spells for Gortrek, while also actually managing to shift quite a bit of your loot and make a fair bit of coin in the process, which is good because you spent a fair bit of coin the night before getting absolutely plastered. Anyway, that's where we left off. You guys are up in the small room that you were currently sharing with Leosin. As the sun sets, it's tricky in Elturel. The sun sets, but it's still bright as day outside due to the light of the companion, the large glowing orb that hangs over the city that keeps the place in perpetual daylight.
Praise the giant orb.
Praise the orb. But you do know as the sun begins to set that before long, Leosin should return from making contact with the Zentrum, the Zentrum agent that he knows of within the city. So, we'll pick up there. I'm going to unmute. Nope, it's still going.
It is a great sound.
I love it. It's like a little robot.
There's a little robot mouse in your microphone.
It was fine earlier.
It was absolutely fine. It was only when I started doing the intro that it started playing up. What have you changed? What have you done?
Nothing.
I don't believe you.
I literally got up, got my cookies, and then that was it.
The cookies.
See, that's your lie. The lie that you told your mother. That's what that is.
No one needs
Feedback
to know
lie. Okay.
Is it gone now?
No.
Oh, for God's sake.
It is some kind of feedback thing going on, I think.
It's your familiar robotic mouse.
Okay. No, it's
I'll just mute myself.
Oh, it's kind of
it's
gone.
okay. It seems to be. It's quiet when you talk, but we'll work through it. It's not persistent as it was a minute ago. So anyway, yeah, you're in your room. You've just acquired some new goods
Say that.
and made quite a bit of coin. What are you doing? What happens? What happens next? What is your plan? Or should I say, what would you like to do?
I think at some point, Rogar will go to the the Temple of Bahamut,
Yeah.
at whatever point is convenient, basically.
Okay. So yeah, you do remember that Leosin said that it would take him about a day to talk with, to meet with the Zent, to make contact, and to expect him in the evening. Although he didn't give you a more specific time, obviously because of the nature of the companion keeping the city in, constant daylight. There's never, as far as you're aware, there doesn't. It's not that nighttime doesn't mean anything in Elturel. It's just that plenty of people still go about their business till pretty much all hours, really. So it's kind of your call. You absolutely can head there now.
Yep. Whenever you want to go, Rogar, I'd be happy to show you where the temple is.
I'm just aware Leosin might be here soon. I do not want to miss
Well,
him. But
I think it's fair to say that we won't be meeting the Zent tonight, so maybe we could wake up early in the morning before we head out.
it sounds like a plan.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there anything
So,
else
how-
anyone else wants to do? Sorry, go ahead.
Just like, how are the eggs? You know, he's been staring at them all day.
They are still there. They have not moved. No
Good.
one has come up. Very dull.
Have you had dinner? Do you want some food?
Why not? Could not hurt.
Yeah, room service?
I mean, you could try.
Yeah, I'll go to that dwarf that I charmed yesterday.
Yeah. Go downstairs and have a word with him.
Yeah.
So as you kind of make your way down the stairs, and there are a few doors ahead of you. There's the small side door that, like, if you get down the stairs and then immediately like double backing yourself down the landing, there's a door at the far end of that hallway. You know, that leads out outside, out the back of the inn. That's the one that Leosin brought the eggs through to take them upstairs. And there's a little door just off to the left of that. That's the one that you've mostly used to go between the front of house of this tavern and the upstairs. But there are a few other doors that you figure probably lead out into the different rooms, probably behind the bar.
Oh.
It's up to you. Where do you want to go to find him?
See, Rory would probably just go straight behind the bar and not think there was a problem with it. But I used to be a bartender. Yeah, why not? Let's do that.
Yeah. So
Yep.
you kind of crack open a couple of doors and peer through, and on your third one, you can see the back of the dwarf's shaved head as he's there. He's not polishing a glass anymore. He's not polishing a tankard. He is wiping down the bar, while not really seeming to look at what he's doing.
Psst, excuse me. Hello.
What the bloody hell are you doing back there?
I was looking for you.
Come on, back. And he
Oh, okay.
ushers you back into the corridor and glances around and forces following through. Aye, you shouldn't have come behind the bar like that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were busy.
Strictly speaking, we're not meant to have anyone, that don't work here. And you never know who's in. What do you want?
Oh, of course. So we've been out all day. We haven't eaten. Is there any chance we could get some dinner up in the room?
Aye, I can have something brought up. The usual fare, is that all right?
Yeah. I'll do what Godric did. Go in my pocket and pull out a random handful of coins and just give them to him.
As you
Like 5 gold.
kind of hold out the hand coin, he just like takes 2 of the coins, puts the other ones back in your hand, and just shakes his head a little bit, not in like a angry way, just in a slightly vexed
Cool.
Just plods off. Aye, it'll be sent up shortly.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Skiff away.
Yep. So is there anything that anyone else wants to do while you're waiting?
Can I fix the door downstairs that
You can, yes. So you head downstairs and round to the down to the doorway that Grishnak had barged his way through while in bear form. The splintered and bowed frame with the planks buckled and pushed out around it, and you'd spend a bit of time. It takes you... What is it? Is it like a minute casting each time? Or is it 10 minutes casting time on mending?
It's 1 minute.
It is 1 minute. So yeah, there's a lot of points which you need to mend. So I'd say it takes you about 15 to 20 minutes just to go all the way round and get all the planks back in and fix the splintered wood. And there's still, you can still see that there's obviously been some damage, but it is now once again a functioning door. You test the door and it properly closes. And while you're doing this, you do see the young male, human male server that you'd seen around front of bar when you first arrived is carrying a large platter of meats, large slab of cheese, and a few chunks of bread up the stairs to the room that you're in. So yeah, if you well, it's up to you if there's anything else you want to do down there. But the rest of you are up in the room. This lad arrives, kind of knocking politely on the door. This door hasn't been fixed yet, and is still very much kind of swinging loosely.
Come in, the door's open.
Yes, I've got some food for you all.
I'll take it from him. I won't let him set it down. I'll just take it off.
Okay. Yeah, as he's looking around a little bit, unsure where to put it. There's only one small table in here, whereas you guys are all kind of scattered around. As you take it off him, his eyes do linger for a second on the dragon's eggs in the corner, and he's looking at them just like blinking a little bit. What?
I'll raise an eyebrow at him.
Sorry. I'll leave you be.
What was your name, sorry?
My name?
Yes.
Edbert.
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 Okay, you can leave.
Okay. Kind of looks a little bit unsure and scurries away.
Sassy.
So, yeah, there's various. It's mostly it's quite a sausage-based platter. This. That's not. Don't take it that way. Don't take it that way.
How do you want us to take it?
Any other way. It's mostly meat, and it does seem like the main meat produce, rather than bacon or steaks or legs of lamb or anything. It's mostly various. I'm just going to stop there. I'm not even going to continue. It's food. You can eat it if you want. Sod it. I don't care. It's probably poisoned. But there's rough bread and some rather well-aged cheddar, shall we say, for you to tuck into. It's basic fare, but tastes good. Nothing tastes off. So you set to eating, and after Cal, I'm assuming you come back up and join.
Yep.
After probably about another 15 minutes or so, you hear Leosin clearing his throat, stood in the doorway. Are we all decent? No, you know.
Decent. Sausage and yeah, we're all good. You come on in.
I'm just trying to be polite, really. And you see, stood behind him is a lady wearing very simple, but slightly bulky, dark brown robes with a hood pulled up. There's kind of like this black dogtooth pattern across the entire robe. Her hands are hidden somewhere within this voluminous robe, and she steps in. She kind of eyes the buckled door frame as she enters and looks around to all of you. She lowers her hood as she steps in, revealing like a short bob of dark brown hair. Her face carries a faint smile, almost a smirk, but her eyes are piercing. She kind of looks around at all of you a little bit expectantly. Leosin, kind of sensing the slight awkwardness, kind of coughs again. So, this is Elnor. Elnor Thorell. She is our Zentrim contact within El Terrell. And she has accompanied me here to discuss options for transporting you north. I'll let her do the rest. Kind of awkwardly steps back. You can see he's nervous. You don't need to be insightful to see that Leosin is very on edge right now. So she looks to each of you. Good evening. Yes, my name is Elnor. You do notice as she looks around, also, she has the lobed but pointed ears that are a telltale sign of half-elven heritage. She has very fair skin. It's almost impossible to tell quite how old she is. There is the faint sign of crow's feet at the corner of her eyes that suggests that she's not young, but with half-elven heritage, that could put her anywhere between 30, 40 to 120. It's hard to tell. So, the Burning Blades. Pleasure to finally make your acquaintance. We've heard so much about you.
I think I furrow my eyes at that comment.
You would be Rogar Grimfrost. A pleasure. And that would make you Grishnak Bloodfist, the two Doomfist brothers, Ruri Waters, the bastard of Waterdeep. Yes. So,
It's Blood Moon, not Bloodfist.
oh, I'm so sorry, Blood Moon. I'm afraid some of the intricacies of the nomadic tribes of Highmoor are a little bit outside of our areas of interest. So, I believe you need something of me. Well, we can certainly trade in favours. You wish teleportation, I understand it. North?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What is your destination?
Mithril Hall.
Mithril Hall, I see. The Doomfist family stronghold, yes?
Aye.
So, the question is, what could you give me in return for getting you to Mithril Hall?
Cal, show her the head.
I seem to have misplaced it.
Oh my god, is it
Hold
still
up.
downstairs?
No, it's behind the door. It's behind the door. Hold on.
You kind of
Go to the door.
fumble past her to get to the door and pick it up.
Excuse me. So, pick it up and I just drop it on the table on the sausage platter.
No.
And she looks down at it, wrinkles her nose a little bit. A dead half-dragon. Well done.
Hey, if there's anyone you need killing, I'm pretty sure we can help you there.
Whoa.
Whoa.
No, that was not what we were doing, Calibri.
That's very cute of you, Calibri Doomfist, but trust me, if there's anyone we need killing, the Zentrim are more than capable of dealing with that ourselves.
So why are the cults still at large then?
The Cult of the Dragon. It's not
Yes.
it's not a simple matter of just walking in and killing one of them.
Oh, trust us, we know.
Yes, if such things as cults or, should we say, other organizations were so easily dealt with, and there's a sideways glance towards Leosin, then the Zentrim would already rule Faerun, but these things take time. No, let's not beat around the bush. What I want from you is a promise. A promise of aid. To be specified at a later date, at a time that suits us. Give me this promise and we can get you where you need to go. You and your precious cargo.
What kind of aid?
Oh, don't you worry about that.
I do worry about that.
I do too.
Something minor, don't worry. I'm not going to ask you to overthrow a kingdom for us or betray any friends or family. No, I mean, after all, you are people with access to, well, should we say, considerable manufacturing resources that could prove useful to me and my organization.
I think she wants to get her hands on your forge, Godric.
I don't want to necessarily get my hands on it. Our hands don't need to be involved at all, but there might be something that
You want
we want that the Spellforge could be useful for, yes. Or maybe we'll have need of it could be something similar. We could simply require the aid of some freelance agents to deal with. We don't want to risk ourselves getting involved in, you know, the sort of thing. But I promise you, you won't find anyone else who can make this kind of offer within Elturel. The next nearest bet would be Baldur's Gate, and, well, you're welcome to go there and try, but you might end up having to part with a lot more than simply a favour for some friends.
I think Rogar will probably stand up at this and address the guys. This is we are traveling north because of me and what has been requested of me. I do not think you need to share in this commitment.
Mate, we all agreed to do it. We all agreed to do with the eggs like that.
It's a group decision, and are we not the Burning Blades together? I think it's for us all to do.
I mean, you already know I agree. I don't need to say it.
I'll turn to this woman. I think we can agree.
We agree? Wonderful.
But if we are unable to complete your request, the punishment falls to me and me alone. Nobody else. Do you understand?
I think that's acceptable. Responsibility does tend to fall upon those in charge, and you seem to have assumed a fair degree of leadership in this situation.
It's nothing to do with that.
So modest.
Sit down and eat a sausage.
Yeah.
Angrily eat a sausage.
Down and eat a sausage covered in decaying dragon head.
I'll wipe it off, it's fine. You haven't seen Dragonborn food.
Good point. Well, I think this is agreeable. And, you know, we can... My superiors will understand us giving you a little bit of leeway, both given the current circumstances, the arrangement that we find ourselves in at this time. And, to be fair, we already owe you a fair bit of gratitude. Your efforts have made the Neverwinter region far more profitable, and that's just benefiting everybody. The work you did with Fandolin, most commendable. However, just so we are clear, if any of you do anything to cross us, to betray me, or any of my compatriots that I work with, to the authorities, to try and get the better of us as part of this arrangement, well then, that punishment will fall upon all of you. Not just you, but those you care about as well. We clear? I have interest. Who's doing the snoring?
That was a growl.
That's a growl. Okay, sorry. I thought I was about to see if the Grishnak was like faking being bored or something. After all, you know, it would be such a shame, say, were I don't know, with Tiberius to learn of your location and movements, Grishnak.
You think I'm scared of that cunt?
I think you might be scared of some of his friends. Also, I think you may fear more for what he could do to hurt you. Not necessarily directly, but... And there's a lot of people in Phandalin you definitely do care about. Anyway, as long as everybody plays fair, there'll be no need for any of that. In fact, Grishnak, we might even be able to help you deal with that little situation at some point in the future. Anyway, back to business. Since the guards are keeping tabs on all of you, and on your eggs, you will have to leave Elturel first, so as not to raise suspicion. Teleportation magic is banned inside the city walls. If you were to simply disappear without a trace, questions would be asked. Investigations would be commenced, and we could do without that. Head out west, tomorrow, shortly after noon, towards Baldur's Gate. After about, if you make good pace, I'd say half a day's travel, you'll be intercepted by some of my people. They will lead you to a safe location. There the teleportation will be done. Is that clear? If anyone asks, if the guards ask, you had no luck finding what you needed here, and you're heading to Baldur's Gate to seek it. Beyond that, they won't care. There's a bit of a rivalry between Elturel and Baldur's Gate, you see.
Yeah, we've gathered.
Yes, simply mentioning the name is enough to make them lose interest. They like to feign lofty indifference. It's quite pathetic. So, we have terms?
I think so.
Very well. She holds a hand out to you, Rogar.
Stand up and gingerly put my hand to hers.
She has a surprisingly firm grasp. Not like... It's not strong, it's not like a crushing grip. But, yeah, there is a... It's not dainty, it's not like a gentle handshake. It is a proper, business-like grip.
I think I'll meet it, not beat it.
Okay, not trying to show off.
No.
Wonderful. Well then, shall see you tomorrow. Rest well. Good night. Turns, nods to Leosin, and leaves. Leosin kind of...
Quiet am I? Sorry.
You're okay. I might turn you up a little bit more. I want to talk again?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm going to turn you up just a little bit more.
Hello, hello, hello.
Talk
I
again?
So I just got told that my mic's very quiet. And
Yeah, it's odd. I'm turning you up and it literally doesn't seem to be making any difference.
Yeah, I just put you to 200%. It didn't change anything.
right.
But we can hear you. You're just quieter.
Excessively quiet.
I wouldn't say excessively.
no, we can hear you.
We can hear you fine.
How was that?
That's good.
Right. Okay.
Taste it.
So, Leosin kind of gives a little bit of a shake. Well, that actually went fairly well, all things considered. I was worried you might antagonize her a little bit further.
What's her name?
Elnor Thorell. But I would point out that's almost certainly an alias.
That's fine. Just gonna take out my book, put it in there.
Look, I please don't mistake anything that she said for bluster or veiled, like empty threats.
Well, no, I don't doubt it, but
We've been dealing with the Zen for a long time. They are not to be underestimated.
I think Rory's still like staring at the door where she left, like his hands are like clenched and he's not really saying anything.
Are you all right, Rory?
Is it too late to back out?
I'm afraid so. Yes, Rogar sealed the deal.
Listen, I need to give you something before I forget. And I'll go into the bag and I'll take out the map that has all the cultist targets on it that we found in the cave.
Okay. He
And I'll
kind of
give him that.
unfurls that. Where did you... What is...
It was in the hideout. Sorry, I forgot to give it to you yesterday.
Interesting. Very interesting. Please don't take this as an admonishment. This actually could have been very useful in this meeting just now.
Oh.
Well, you see, I'm not sure how much to say. Something the Zentrum are helping us with right now is attempting to intercept that caravan that left from near Greenest. They are tracking it. They're going to try and infiltrate the caravan and disrupt it. This seems to indicate their goal. That could let them know how long they've got and where the most ideal place to make their move could be. I could make sure this gets to them, and that could help. Could definitely help. And would, I think, improve your value in their eyes, which would make them a bit more, shall we say, lenient, understanding of any circumstances that might come up in the future. Interesting, interesting. This location here. That name rings a bell. Where have I seen that before? Does it mean anything to you?
Which name is it?
It is... I can't pronounce it. Nerita.
Nerita. Yes.
Nerita, where?
There's a book there, I believe. A book that Sister Garielli had me look for.
At Nerita?
Am I remembering it wrong?
She had you look for a spell book that belonged to
To a mage.
a
Oh,
long... Yeah.
gentle.
Yeah.
Bow Gentle, that's the one.
Bow Gentle, yeah. Bow
No,
Gentle spell book.
Nerita. It is a place. It rings a bell, but I'll look into this. Yes. Good. Thank you. Thank you for giving me this. I will do some research. See what I can find out. But this could make our job a lot easier. Save a lot of time with this information. Well done.
No, I'm sorry I didn't give it to you yesterday. I'm afraid we were preoccupied with indulging ourselves.
It's understandable, given what you've been through. No need to apologize. Well then, I would suggest take your advice. Rest up, rest well. If there's anything else you want to do in Elturel, and then tomorrow, well, they're not going to mess you around, not at this stage. They have nothing to gain from doing so. So I guess this is, yes. I do not know when I will see you again after tonight. I have some business of my own to take care of. That was keep me busy. I may see you in the morning, but I'm afraid there's no guarantees. If I do not, thank you for everything that you've done. I wish you only the best of luck, and that we may meet again under slightly better circumstances.
Thank you for the help you were able to give us. I'm sure we'll see you again. Our paths lead to the same place after all.
They may well do. They may well do. Well, good luck, everybody. Oh, I'm going to ask you this completely honestly, because I can't see it in my notes anywhere. Did Leosin pay you guys?
No.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't. Okay. No, that's fair. Oh, I almost forgot. Hang on. He actually goes over to the small travel chest that's next to the cot, opens it up, rummages around, kind of opens a larger bag, and then takes several smaller ones that he had in the chest, and starts showing some coins out for each of you. I'm sorry, this was... I should have given this to you when you first arrived, but it was all a little bit chaotic, a little bit haphazard. But to all of you, for your troubles, this was for the incentive that I promised for going back and dealing with the hatchery. He hands each of you a small pouch containing 150 gold pieces each.
Oh, that's
So-
nice.
Yeah, I know, it's subtle compared to what you got off Strux at the end of last one, but every little helps.
I don't know. Everyone's got a little bit of quite a lot of pocket money.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
That's some good walking around money, that.
Yeah, man.
We can go for a nice meal. Well, yes, a promise is a promise. Anyway, good luck up north. It is tricky. Yes, I would advise stick to the roads. It's probably safer to go through Luskan than it is to try and avoid it. Even for parties such as yourselves. Anyway, yes, like I said, I have things to tend to. Good luck.
I'll give him a forearm shake.
His shake in return is a little bit weak. She actually had a firmer grip than he did.
Classic.
Like, he's not feeble. He's just, obviously, this is not. Yeah, his strengths do not lie in this area.
Mm.
Nods at all of you. Sees himself out.
Stay safe, Leosin.
I'll do my best.
Right, now that he's gone, Gotrek, you've put that woman's name in the book.
Already done. She does not threaten family and get away with it.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Aye. Regardless of if it's an alias or not. Her
I must
name will be
admit-
struck when she's dead.
It was, I know it's not like me, it was very hard to keep control of my temper just then.
Aye. Half tempted to cave her skull in when she was in here.
Yeah, if we didn't need a teleport, I'd have chopped her fucking head off.
Mm,
Perhaps if I was better at my craft, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have needed them.
it's not your fault, Gotrek.
Right.
Everybody just get some rest. Do not do anything stupid to arouse this woman's anger.
Not yet.
If needs be, complete the mission. Complete what she asks. And when this is all the dust is settled, then reparations can be made.
Aye.
Oh, I love it. Okay, so is everyone
Good
getting
time.
some rest?
Mac another grudge.
Well then, yeah, unless there's anything people wanted to do before going to sleep.
No, I think we're good.
Okay, so yeah, everyone take a long rest. I mean, you should all be good. Although, Gotrek, I did notice when I was setting some stuff up earlier, you've still got your HP is set to like minus 58 from the undead fight. So your max
Oh.
is like 19 right now.
Yeah, cool.
You might want to check that one.
Yes. I don't want.
Don't want to go into a fight with 19 HP.
Yeah, man.
Not at this level. Okay. So, fairly peaceful night. It's pretty noisy downstairs. A little bit chaotic, as is often the way in the Black Antlers. But after a little while, you manage to drift off, get some sleep. Waking up in the morning, it is, fairly early morning when you will begin to rouse. You've probably got about 4, maybe 5 hours to the point where it's kind of suggested that you should head out.
Grab some breakfast, and I'd like to head to the temple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go to the temple too.
So Rui and Rogar heading to Temple District. Anyone else?
No.
No, just going to
Just
get
going to stay with the eggs.
Just gonna
Go
stay,
try the Smiths again.
stay in the pub.
stay in the
I
pub.
could, in fairness, smith something, but I would need the bag of holding and all the metal inside it.
Well, I mean, let's say it's doable if you wanted to give it a try, but obviously coordinate
mean-
that one with Ruri.
We're going to Mithril Hall in like a few hours, basically.
Yep. Oh,
Yeah, that's a
I
point.
need to do sending to inform Mother that we're going to be arriving today.
Okay.
Mother,
Mother!
please can you make sure that the people are aware that we will be arriving, and I'll give the names of our group and how many there should be of us arriving.
Okay. So you send out the message and you get a response. Gotrek. Okay, well, I'll talk with the Hulls of Transportation. Let them know. Shut up.
Hey, Mother.
Let them know you're coming. Will I be able to see you? How's your brother?
You should be. Oh no, shit! I'd have to send again.
You would have to send again.
Fuck,
It's
I'll
up
send
to you,
again.
man. It's up to you.
I'll send again. It's Mother.
Okay.
Yes, Mother. You'll be able to see us. Probably best that you don't let Grandfather and Father know that I will be back, and don't mention the fact of that Calibre is back because they might not like what he looks like now.
All right. Well, I'll do my best. Not a lot escapes their notice, but yes, I'll let them know. I won't tell them, but be aware your father is currently back at Mithril Hall right now.
Oh, shit.
Anyway, see you soon. I love you.
I'm not going to send a message back saying I love you too.
That would be a third sending spell.
That would, and I don't want to.
Yeah.
She knows.
She knows. She knows. Okay, so
Unless you die on the way, and she'll never know.
so yep,
Character development.
you've done that sending. So Ruri and Rogar heading to the Temple District, while Gortrek, Grishnak, Cal either prepare or drink or both.
Preparing.
Preparing to drink. So you head straight for the Draconic street of the Temple District. So when you get there, Ruri, you lead the two of you back to where you were the day before. It is a small side street, not very long, that ends in a little, almost kind of cul-de-sac, and at the very end of which is the largest of the temples, and it's got this little kind of triangular-like carving above the doorway. At the top of the kind of almost like pyramid-like stone, at the top of the carving is the form of Bahamut casting down the five-headed dragon, which occupies the lower left-hand corner of the pyramid. But then in the lower right-hand corner is this more skeletal draconic figure that almost seems to be looking on, seems to be simply observing. The chapel is small and simple. It's odd. It's built in the same kind of design as most of the buildings within Elturel. So the carving in its rather distinct style does sort of stand out a little bit. But yeah, going inside.
I think I'll stop at the door and just kind of probably take a couple of minutes to like mutter into myself to go in.
Yeah.
Like, kind of a big deal. I don't think he's ever been into a. I think, yeah. It takes a minute.
Okay, so you take a moment just to prepare yourself and steel yourself. As you enter, you do feel almost a sense of serene calm pass over you as you enter, which surprise you for a moment before you realise that it's coming from your passenger. You can feel Valorian inside is pleased by this. Too long since I have entered a holy place of Bahamut.
I'm glad you are happy. This is a first for me.
but not the last, brother. Not the last. The chapel is... It's small, it's simple. There are 2 rows of pews. It's not a particularly wide building. And the back is a simple altar. Stood at it is an elderly gentleman. Pale, leathery skin, leathery with age. He's stark white hair, but he's balding, kind of spreading, that bald spot at the top, just spreading outwards, with patrician features. But he has broad shoulders and chest, which indicates, he wasn't always necessarily a man of the cloth. This looks like somebody who was in his youth in very good shape. And looks up as you enter. Blessings of Bahamut to you both. With a warm tone, a kindly smile on his face. What can I do for you both?
Greetings. I am Rogar Grimfrost, and this is my companion, Rory Waters.
Lovely to meet you.
It is my pleasure. I am Heward Moore. I am the priest and caretaker of this humble chapel to our Lord. You are travellers, visitors to El Terrell?
Both. We are on a kind of nervously, kind of like muttering to myself, a sacred quest.
Yes. Yes, I can see his light upon you, child. You glow from within.
Kind of look down at my chest like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Not in a physical sense, in a spiritual sense. You seem worried. What bothers you?
We are making a long trip to tell Kelvin's Cairn.
Kelvin's Cairn.
Do you know of it?
I do know of it. I visited there in my youth. This has been a long time.
Do you know of a Tuvorth who dwells there?
Indeed I do. She is a resplendent figure. Noble and mighty. It was to see her that I travelled. Something of a rite of passage, if you will.
A pilgrimage.
Yes.
Our Lord has given us a task to seek her out. He advised that we bring a historically significant gift.
Ah, yes, Tuvorth is something of a collector of artifacts. All dragons value wealth, although where chromatics seem to seek to take it by force, the metallics prefer to receive gifts freely given. It is not necessary if our Lord has given you a quest, then she will honor that, but it would certainly put you in good standing with her, and Tuvorth is a mighty ally to have.
And mighty allies we need.
Indeed, these are dark times.
Do you have any suggestions? What?
Well, she is not so interested in baubles. She is more keen on ancient texts, carvings, something that tells a story of times lost. Knowledge is what she's really interested in. Physical representations of such. That would be ideal. But simply making the gesture is probably more important than the thing itself. It's showing one cares, you know?
I see.
I myself, I recall that when I and my comrades travelled to see her, we acquired an urn, and upon it was, around it was painted scenes depicting the founding of Waterdeep. She found that quite interesting.
Is there anything in this temple you would part with?
I fear I have little here that would interest her, my son, I'm sorry.
Of course, yes.
But if to Kelvin's cairn you go, you have a long way to travel. Maybe many things that you can find along the way.
Yes. Yes, I'm sure. Well, thank you, Huard, was it?
Heward Moore.
Huard. I'd just like to take a moment to look around, if you don't mind.
Of course, of course. Something that you would both notice at this point as you're stood up near the altar is off to, if you're facing the altar, it would be on your right-hand side. You couldn't see it from the doorway, but you can now. It's no longer hidden by a statue that appears to be of a armor-clad knight. There is a small wooden doorway. The wood is dark, not quite black, but very dark, with strange, almost skeletal carvings set into it.
I think I'll nudge Rory, just nod at it, kind of knowingly.
Sort of go wide-eyed for a moment and stare at it.
Heward does catch your gaze. That is the... Originally, this chapel was intended by the ever-wise rulers of this city to represent the trinity of the draconic siblings. It took a while for my predecessor to explain to them exactly why we could not provide them with a priestess of Tiamat. I am sure I don't need to explain to you the difficulties there, but we do maintain a small shrine to... And kind of his eyes flick to you, Rogar, and there's a kind of uncertainty before looking back at Ruri. A small shrine to Null. I would advise against bothering the caretaker. He is not the friendliest of fellows. But he is devout, diligent in his duties.
I feel we must look at Rory like, what do you think?
Yes, I would... I'm just going to start walking towards the door.
I would not stop you. It's not my place. I would simply... Do not expect warmth. After all, looking to you, Rogar, your companion is not... You understand the traditions.
Perhaps I should go first, Rory.
Yeah, if you think that's best.
This is not normally something for anyone but Dragonborn.
Okay.
I'll just go.
I'll stay behind you.
Just go and open the door.
Just open the door. So, as soon as you open the door, the chamber beyond is very small. It's, I mean, we're not talking tiny, but it's like maybe like 10 by 10 feet kind of thing. A very strong smell of incense hits you as soon as you open it, and there's kind of like a haze that wafts out. It's very darkened, and there are a couple of censers hanging down, and each one, the chain, it looks to have been carved as if to resemble bones. And then at the metal then worked to form what looks like skeletal claws holding the bowls, these censers. Whatever's in it is what's giving off this incense, this smoke. There's a small altar shrouded in kind of these thick gauze at the far end, stood in front of which is a figure who very quickly but jerkily turns to face you with a bit of a hiss. You're a little bit taken aback. What you see is the oldest dragonborn you've ever seen. He looks almost impossibly old. It's hard to tell what colour his scales were originally, but your best bet would be copper or maybe bronze. But age has dulled and darkened them to the point of being a kind of blackish grey almost. And he looks impossibly old. You've never seen a dragonborn anywhere near this old. It's kind of startling.
I think Rogar would give a deep bow, like kind of very respectful of his elders, like, and say a very formal greeting in Draconic.
You're met for a moment with silence as the dragonborn he quite hunched, and both arms are pulled across in front of him, and he steps towards you slowly with kind of like an awkward gait, stands before you and slaps you quite hard across the face.
Do you not knock? This is unseemly.
Forgive me. I bow even deeper.
Maybe. Forgiveness is not mine to give. That is the realm of our Lord.
I have a friend with me.
Looks up, seeing Ruri, and hisses again.
He is human.
Not quite.
I'll speak in Dragonborn, and I'll say, not exactly.
You could have fooled me.
And does reply in perfect, but slightly archaic Draconic. There's like a hint to the dialect that seems a little bit off.
What
He knows
reason?
Sorry, continue.
He knows the tongue. He is respectful. I have spoken with him before. He understands.
And what reason does such a rude dragonborn and a human have for bothering the shrine of Chronepsis?
You would know, Rogar, that where Null is viewed as this as the god of two aspects, Chronepsis is the aspect that is specifically the guardian of the lost, as opposed to that of the Reaver. So it's quite telling that he chooses to use the benign, the name of the benign aspect.
I'll look over at Rory and I think my friend may be more suited to explain.
Well, human, what business do you have?
I need to understand. I came to
Humans
seek
cannot
knowledge.
understand.
I'm not a human.
You look human. You smell human.
I have been. Yes, my ancestry is predominantly human, but I have been blessed with the blood of the Celestials.
Human celestials.
Well, anyway,
Yes.
I need to know. I need to understand what he wants. I need to understand why he has followers and what they do and how.
You wish to understand why Conepsis is?
Yes.
You may as well ask the wind why it blows. All things that live must die.
And
Death
it's the one-
is one of the only sure forces in the universe.
And so, if death is so sure and death is so absolute, why would he need people on this plane to do things for him?
He cocks his head slightly.
There are rules the gods must live by. They may not interfere directly if they have business on this plane. They require agents, and all gods crave the
And are
love
they
of worshippers.
treated fairly?
Of course. Why do you ask this?
Oh, he's gone.
Ah!
There he is.
I thought he was taking time to consider his answer.
Yeah, sorry. All that.
All life eventually leads to death. This is simply the start to another form of existence. I am here to make sure he is not forgotten, to help guide people, our people,
He kind of gestures to himself in regard.
to that end, so they do not know fear, so that they can do what they must in life. Why do you ask this?
Because someone who I care about very much has thrown everything away to do his bidding, and I don't know why.
It is not your place to know why. When the gods call on us, we must obey.
The gods call on me too.
Then you obey.
I obey, but I still do what brings me joy, and I do what brings beauty to the world. I do not lose myself.
Human gods, they have no propriety. It is different for the Dragonborn. This is why you cannot understand. There is no joy in following Conepsis. There is only duty. Your friend does what he must, for he is dutiful. Respect that. But his duty is more important than anything he had in life.
Rory does one of those, opens his mouth, closes it, opens it again, closes it again. And then he sort of sets his jaw, puts his chin in the air, and walks out.
What is your friend's name?
His name is Razalex.
I will include him in my prayers.
Thank you.
Know that Conepsis does not ask things of us lightly. If your friend has given everything to follow him, then there is good reason. It is not a whimsical thing to serve.
Thank you for trusting me enough to tell me this. I know from experience how uncomfortable it must make you feel to tell me this. But okay, thank you. I'm gonna walk out again.
Turns to you, Rogar. Begone! Just kind of waves at you with a hand.
Do
Away.
another deep bow and walk out.
Blessings of the Guardian to you. Now, go. Close my door behind you.
I'll make sure to close it.
Learn how to knock.
Tempted to knock on it. I'll catch up with Rory and just be like, are you okay?
Heward does give you like a look as you go past, kind of sympathy.
Yeah. Are you okay, Rory?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm frustrated.
These are not the answers you wished.
Well, I couldn't have hoped I could get that much information there, and yet I know I can't understand because I'm not a Dragonborn. I know I can't, but at the same time, nothing would ever make me leave my family behind.
We
know.
do.
Where
we do
are you?
strange,
Sorry, carry on.
we do strange things for the loyalty and the devotion we have for the gods.
Where are you stood? Are you still inside the chapel, or are you outside now?
I don't know.
I
Maybe
guess we're like
outside?
on our way out while having
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Yeah.
When you met me, I was blind devotee of Lendis, as is my whole family. They do strange things in his name, things that I would almost deem cruel. The irony. Kind of looks at the floor, looks up at the sky. Lendis is dead. He is no more. A forgotten god. And they do these things in his name. I'm sorry you cannot understand why your friend has gone. I'm a Dragonborn and I'm not even sure I understand.
Well, if that very old man is to be believed, then he had a good reason. And that's what everyone keeps saying. So I suppose there's that.
Sometimes you have to let go, let people walk their own path. As long as you are there, if they return.
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
Come
Did
on.
you, I'm sorry, did you get what you needed from the temple?
Yes. I just kind of put my arm around his shoulder and start walking. I got what I needed. Come on. Let's get back. They may have cooked the eggs by now.
Oh no.
Okay, so yeah, head back.
And scene.
So you head back to to the Black Antlers.
Uh-huh.
It's approaching midday at this point. By the time you get back there, because it does take you a fair while to walk to and from the Temple District. So, is there anything that anyone wanted to do, or are you getting ready to set off?
Grishnak just goes up to Gotrek, like in the meantime, and just says, Gotrek,
Aye.
I was just thinking, actually, am I gonna be okay going to Mithril Hall?
You still got that coin I gave you,
Yeah,
and you'll be fine.
you sure? I mean,
Might be worth hiding the just wear a hood. You'll be fine. I think. Just you'll be fine. Will he be fine?
You know that the last time an orc was in Mithril Hall was as a prisoner after the war. You're not sure about half-orcs. Based on what you'd know, he's probably going to get a frosty reception. But if he is in your company, there's not going to be any action.
Okay. I'm gonna need some bits of metal just quickly.
Okay.
Can Gotrek use his channel divinity to make a very, very basic helmet, a full cover helmet, like a bucket helmet?
Yeah, I mean, I believe if you still got all those arrows in the bag of holding,
Yes.
you could probably melt them down.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Let's say, how many arrows do you have?
Was it like over 200?
We have 60 arrows.
60. Okay. You might need to find a bit of scrap metal from other...
I thought we had some spears and swords, didn't we, in the bag of holding?
Hang on, bear with. Sorry, I've been busy at a temple.
No, I'm in the
So-
bag of holding at a minute, but it's not loading.
I've got it, mate. So we've got 3 quivers of arrows. I'm assuming there's 20 in each.
yeah, I think so.
There's no spears left.
Hmm.
I think... What did we do with those? You might have already melted them down, mate.
Shit.
I've got
Masks.
some.
Hmm?
I has masks.
Are they metal?
They are.
Yeah, they're metal.
Okay, cool. So Gotrek will grab his hammer, and in the air he will draw his runes to start the process of melting down the masks. Like, can you pass us the masks, please? Sorry, brother. It's going to be a kind of necessity.
I'd say you probably only need... I mean, if you're going to use just masks, I think you'd probably need 3 of them. If you're going to use the arrows as well, I'd say you probably only need 2 masks.
So I'll use all the arrows and... You say 2 masks?
2 masks if you can use the arrows as well.
Yeah.
So it's a bit disconcerting for those of you there watching, as the wooden floor of the tavern suddenly, like about a 5-foot diameter circle of it, becomes like a seething, bubbling, molten metal pool. But it doesn't seem to set fire to any of the wood around it. It's held in bay by the runes that Gotrek draws both in the air and on the ground as you begin melting down the metals and forming from this pool of molten metal a round, quite a large bucket helm that will just sit over Grishnak's head.
Right.
And it
Actually,
does. It masks his features. If you combined that with some form of large cloak that would cover his arms, and you could hide his identity.
Because don't we have the cloaks from the... Yeah, we got 4 red brand cloaks left.
Do you? Oh, yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna pad out, because I'm gonna make the helmet be a bit bigger than normal. So I'll pad out the helmet so it looks like he's got a really big head.
So
Okay.
it kind of throws it off of what species he could be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, half-orcs are basically humanoid, so you know, he could just look like a big person.
Yeah. Just want to throw it off even more.
Yeah. Okay, so I'd say in the time it takes them to go and do that, you're easily able to get this together. Okay, is there anything else?
Grishnak, did that go? What do you think?
Fucking hell, mate, this is a tight fit.
Yes. Production value.
I'm glad someone's bringing the production values. I bloody don't.
I'm just putting a cup in front of my mouth.
That's how you know he's a sound engineer, boys.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Let me have a look, play in. Let me try and fix it.
Do a bit of tweaking.
Right, what about now?
Yeah, it's still not the most comfortable, but it'll do.
All right. It's all right though. Not too tight around your head.
I mean, it's a fucking helmet. I don't like wearing them at the best of times.
Aye. Oh yeah, I suppose you're not used to it, so I mean, right, that'll do. As long as you're wearing that and covering your arms and legs.
Yeah, I was gonna say, have you thought about wearing a shirt, Grishnak?
I wear a shirt.
Okay, cool.
He just always had his sleeves rolled up.
Yeah, I wear
Okay, fairs.
I
Right.
wear a waistcoat, trousers, and a shirt, and a massive bear cloak, obviously.
Obviously, yeah.
Do you reckon maybe we put the red cloaks underneath the bear one and make it look a bit more scribey?
Scribey? What's fucking scribey?
Like you're knowledgeable, so maybe you can be like you're a just hide. I don't know.
I'm loving the thought that's going into this.
I'm imagining like the bucket helmet has got like those glasses with eyes, like goggly eyes on the front as well.
I'm just imagining it like a full Ned Kelly helmet,
Yeah.
basically.
That's what I'm seeing. It's about this point that you and that Rogar and Rory walk back in.
Yeah, I think that works. Carl, what do you think?
I think it looks fine.
Aye.
As Cal sat there holding his kind of executioner mask, you kind of realise that Rishnak's probably not going to pull as much attention as you're worrying about.
I think upon seeing Krishnak's new helmet, just walk in and just look back at Godric, look about the helmet, and just sit down, just like, okay, whatever.
This is happening.
Honestly, what do you think? It's not that bad. I mean, it'll hide because I mean,
Why are you trying to hide? What is
Yeah,
happening?
I'm confused. What's happening?
Well, I was thinking, we're going to Mithril Hall, and they don't really like orcs there.
Right, orcs invaded the lands of their fathers and their fathers' fathers.
Yeah,
their father's father's father.
Oh, of course.
and I mean, half-orc or not, I think they're only going to see the orc.
Yeah.
I mean,
You sound ridiculous.
it might. Aye, he sounds ridiculous, but he'll be alive.
I mean,
Maybe
I'm
also
sure he'll
get-
stay alive, just like some of the dwarfs might not if they attack him, you know?
Yeah.
So, should we go?
Maybe has everyone got their coins things that I made for him a few years back?
Mine's my cloak clasps attached to my armor.
Excellent.
I'm going to say I've got mine as an A-ring.
Excellent. That works. Let's go.
We have wildly different ideas about how big this coin is, then, Rory.
Massive.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Let's fix this.
Rory wearing it as a massive spacer.
The septum piercing.
It's like a £2 coin in his ear.
So it is about the size of a £2 coin. So
Right.
that's
Okay.
Maybe not an earring.
Okay. I guess I'll just have it like in the middle of my holy symbol then. I'll just put it there.
cool.
Okay.
Should be pretty solid.
Let's do this. Let's
To the west.
go to Mr. Hall.
No,
So-
was it?
Just gonna put a hand on Calibra's shoulder. It's all right, brother. It'll be fine. We'll be there and out, quick as you like.
How do I drink through this?
Sorry, what?
Take the helmet off, Gershnak. You're not there yet.
Let's rip it off like. "Ugh." I said, how do I drink through this?
Oh, well, he'll have to make you a straw as well. Can you make him a straw?
Maybe. What's a straw?
Metal
Can't you
straw.
just put a hole in it and then just pour? Maybe at the hole is at the
I've got
top.
a funnel.
And we just pour and then you just lick. I don't know.
Beer popsicles.
Ugh. Right then, I'll put the helmet on just before we go into the teleportation circle.
Aye.
Sounds good.
All right then. So you begin to gather together your stuff, taking the eggs down to the stables, getting your mounts ready. I'm assuming you're using the stretcher again to transport them this time.
Yeah, we'll pad it out and make it look like just a pile of shit.
So as you're doing this, you look up and see the corporal who was assigned to the three other guards that were assigned to watch you. The corporal is approaching. You are preparing to leave.
Yes, sir, we are indeed.
Jolly good, jolly good. I mean not good that you're
No,
leaving,
it's fine. We're happy to leave too, don't worry.
but I say we're not trying to get rid of you, just obviously. Yes,
You have a
Good.
job to do.
as I'm sure do you.
Yes. I'll pat the eggs.
Very well. We will see you to the. I mean, by which way do you look? I should really put on the bloody map. Been sat on the
Ah,
on the
yes.
screen.
Heading west,
Oh.
yes.
Heading west. Then we shall escort you to the northwestern gate. See you on your way.
Oh, we need to pick up our mounts on the way as well.
Your mounts are they're here.
Oh, cool, great.
They're in little stables just outside the tavern. Sorry, I probably wasn't clear on that one.
It's all right.
That's where you're at the moment. You're at the stables as he's approaching you. Very well. We will escort you out. Make sure no one gives you any hassle with the kind of gestures towards the eggs as you're fitting them up. And then, yes, I'll get my men together. Within the hour? Sooner?
I think we'll leave
Yeah.
now, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we're
I
going to go straight there.
will be here as soon as we are gathered. So yeah, by the time you've finished getting your stuff together, they're assembling. As you're doing all of this, a large armored figure does step out into the backyard as you're preparing to go. Next to him, the shorter armored figure of Morena. It's Ontharth Froome has stepped outside as you're preparing. Ah, you're leaving us already?
Yeah, we've got shit to do on Thar.
Oh, it's a shame. I was looking forward to a few more drinks, a few more arm wrestles with you. You're a good sport. I like you. But I understand how it is. And it's like, oh, hey, we got things to be getting on with ourselves. As Morena kind of steps out next to him. So where do your travellers take you? God, where am I going with these accents? Why do you make me do these things?
We're heading back home.
It's fine.
So sorry, did someone respond to her?
Yes, sorry. So we're heading back to Mithril Hall for a while.
Oh, are you now?
Right, a bit of a long way, but it'll be worth it in the end.
Oh well.
Gonna head via Baldur's Gate, aren't we?
Yes,
She kind of-
right now.
Furrows her brow. You're travelling. Sorry, I keep fucking which one's she going for? Let me get this straight. You're going back to Mithril Hall via Baldur's Gate.
Aye.
We have some business to take care of at Baldur's Gate first.
Aye,
kind
and then it'll be up north. We'll I don't know. That's just.
Rory just keeping his mouth closed, refusing to lie.
Okay, yeah. She does kind of look between a few of you, just shrugs. Froome just kind of, I'm not one for maps either, to be honest. So that's more her job.
Right, it was a pleasure meeting you all as well.
I'm sure it's not the last time, Gortrek. Sure it's not the last. I look forward to fighting by your side in the future.
Yeah, well, we'll have to have a rematch and an arm wrestle, eh? And I just hold my hand out to shake his.
Too bloody right. And he grasps firmly. Well, wish you safe in his travels. Remember, you always got friends in the Order of the Gauntlet.
You always have friends. The Burning Blade, my friend.
You said friend too many times.
Friend. All friends.
Hey man, it happens when you're improvising dialogue. Okay. And as so as you're saddling up, the guards return. Umthar goes round, gives you all a hearty handshake and a clap on the back, wishing you all luck. Morena comes up to you, Gotrek. You'll have to show me how you do your crafting sometime. Must say.
Right, come by Fandolin. It'll be a pleasure to show
Fandolin,
my
is it?
craft.
Some mighty fine armour. I'd like to see how it's made.
Aye, I can do that. Make you a set, maybe.
Aye, maybe. Oh well, travel safe, and regards to Mithril Hall.
You too. You give a dwarven salute.
And she gives a less... She gives a salute back, but it's almost more slightly bemused. But it's there. She doesn't look like she's mocking. She looks more slightly just kind of, yeah, okay then. And she turns and walks over. Come on, you. Elbows Froome in the side. Heads back into the tavern. Okay. So, as the guards begin to lead you out, taking a bit of a long looping path, they lead you up the main high street. It's quite busy. The 4 guards, they each take up position, 2 on each side of the stretcher. They lead you up through the rest of the more of the workers' district. As you cross over the river into the western half of the city, you do find the buildings. It's more residential around here. It's a little bit finer. Houses are a little bit grander, a little bit taller. It's still narrow. Everything's still tightly packed, but it just seems a little bit more upmarket. But you travel without incident. As you finally get to the northwestern gate, have a quick word with the guards there who step aside and wave you all through. And corporal approaches as you ride past them. Rogar, I'm assuming you're on foot at this point, or are you riding on someone's mount?
I think I'll probably be on the back of Rory's mount.
Okay, yeah.
Before just to
Of course, yes.
get there.
Walks up as you guys pass out. Well, travel safe. If you do wish to visit Elturel again, I'd always be pleased to see such noble figures as yourself. But maybe leave the eggs behind next time, yes? He gives you a curt salute, but looks slightly uncertain at your response and waves you on.
How about that, boys? Apparently we're noble figures.
I think that was sarcastic, Grishnak.
Nah, they're too boring to be sarcastic.
Oh, that is a point. You know what? I never thought I'd be so glad to leave a place with so many rules.
It was stifling, even for me.
Aye, and you were all gung-ho for it before.
It's not quite what I imagined, but we got what we needed, and we're moving on. I must say, I am rather looking forward to seeing Mithril Hall.
Oh, me too. I'd love to see your forge, Gotrek.
Don't really have one back at Mithril Hall.
Oh.
You got my grandfather's forge. That's it. It's usually the family forge. I can show you that if you want. I can show you the home. It's quite nice.
Cal, I don't think you're wanting to come back, are you?
I'll do what I have to for the good of the group, but I'd rather not.
You can stay in the tavern, the inn before.
Yeah, I'll stay there again.
Right, we
Get
can,
drunk.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing Mithril Hall, although I haven't seen much of it through this fucking helmet.
I can adjust it to make it a line instead of 2 holes to see through if you want.
But yeah, I think I would prefer a line. But then,
Right.
would you be able to tell I'm an orc?
Probably not.
I don't know.
Right, come here. Just going to take the helmet. Literally going to use an axe and be like,
It's going to be so sharp.
Yeah.
I'm just going to file off the edges. Yeah. Right.
So, looking at the map, we're going to get to Mithril Hall, and we've got to go basically to Luskan and then north. Is that right?
Depends which way you want to go. I mean, if we're looking at the map now,
Where the frick is Mithril Hall?
Mithril Hall is there.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Oh, it is. Okay, yeah. I understand now. Cool.
So
ultimately it depends if you want to try and go get onto the roads and follow the roads. You'd have to do a little bit of cross country. Like go follow the river down towards like Nesme and then go cross country, get onto the trade road heading north to Mirabar, then to Luskan, and then you could follow the road up to Bryn Shander. That would be one way of doing it. Yep, basically that. But you're not restricted. You can literally go whichever way you want to go. But I would point out that a direct line probably wouldn't be quicker because you've then got to go through the wood. You've got to mountain climb.
Yeah, it's like in Skyrim where you think you're going to be quicker by going over the mountains, but then you're having to walk around them.
You spend the whole time trying to find the right angle and just to jump at the right time, and you can scale any mountain.
Do I need to point out what happened last time we didn't follow the road?
what happened last time?
We ended up in the Plague Land.
What do you mean?
I mean, I
We're
would
like, oh, should we
say
follow the road or should we go in a straight line? Oh, we'll go in a straight line. What could go wrong?
I would say
About it.
Rogar, you would definitely know. Gortrek, you would have a pretty good idea as well that the mountain range known as Spine of the World, probably not the best place to roam. Between various beasties, frost giants, could be tricky. It's like I say, there's no fixed way that you have to go, whichever way you think is best. But I would say that route that you've drawn out is probably the most logical route.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm assuming shortly after leaving Elturel that you are going to call out to your good friend and noble steed.
Beg your pardon?
I would assume that at some point, like when you're getting ready to go and shortly after leaving Elturel, you would probably call out to your noble steed.
Oh yeah,
yes,
Cardi.
indeed.
So, yeah.
I'll be calling him.
While this little argument and bit of on the road tweaking is going on, you do hear you called out to him as he left, and you do now hear the wing flaps getting closer. This road is it's not packed, but it is fairly well travelled. Obviously, fair bit of traffic between Elturel and Baldur's Gate, various merchants and all, and you do hear a few shrieks from behind you as a wyvern flies low across the road and then lands on the track next to you.
Hello. You call, I come. What are they
Yes, my
screaming
friend.
about?
I don't think they've seen a wyvern up close before.
Do you think I should go and say hello? I could get closer.
Oh, I think you should do
Definitely
that.
Definitely not. Come on, let's go.
Okay. So, mounting up, which, Rory, you kind of feel Ramsey give almost like a sigh of relief.
Oh,
I think Ramsey and Butthead definitely feel like they've gotten the better deal over Sif, but then again, Sif probably has a bit of an ability complex over carrying the more militaristic Gortrek. They do say
and
that.
He's got armor.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's definitely the heavier weight to carry.
Yep. He's got splint.
Okay.
Damn.
So, you carry on making your way west. The further you get from El Terrell, I mean, you go travelling at a decent pace, obviously making sure the eggs are stable, but you're able to. This is a well-kept road. This is it's well maintained, well managed, so it's not too rough. It's well paved. Which is actually no, that's something notable. The road is paved. It's not just flattened dirt. So, this has actually been. It's obviously a project that took many years, but work teams have taken the effort to actually go out and lay flagstones marking this road. So you travel for a while. It's getting late in the day. Sun's beginning to set. Far behind you. And the traffic on the road has thinned out somewhat. You can see a cart far off ahead of you. You can see some lights behind you that indicate a small merchant caravan trundling its way along, but you got a bit of clearance. And as you move forward, two figures step out into the road, turn to you, holding up their hands, indicating for you to stop. They're both cloaked and hooded, with bandanas covering their face. They're kind of a greyish black colour. The hoods and cloaks, I mean, not them themselves. And they hold up their hands for you to stop. I'm assuming you do?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes.
Not to.
I mean, you have options. You always have options.
Let's run them over. No, okay.
Strike him down.
And so as you slow, acknowledging them, one of them beckons for you to follow, and they start moving off the path. So I mean, you're around about here when this happens, and they move off the path, heading back a kind of northeast along a thin, simple dirt track. It's quite a faint dirt track. It's quite old and rarely used. You follow along in silence. Any attempts to engage them is ignored. They don't respond at all. So you follow in silence for a few miles. Eventually, as the sun finally dips below the mountains far to the east, and light rapidly begins to fade, although all of you have dark vision, so it's not really an impediment to your sight, you reach what appears to be the entrance to a tomb set into a hillside. There's these rough-cut stones forming a doorway. But instead of entering, you are led around and up the side of the hill. It's a low hill. It's not particularly tall. Dotted around are a few trees. There's a couple of little small escarpments. A little cluster of broken and fallen rock over to the eastern side of this hilltop. And you can see between two of the trees, roughly in the centre of this little hillock, you can see a familiar figure of Elnor. Behind her is a robed figure, elderly robed figure with a mane of white hair and a long beard, and two rather burly-looking bodyguards stood nearby as well. I would say, yeah, the two figures that led you there, they split off. One heading towards the rocky escarpments to the northwestern side of this hillock, the other heading into a small copse of trees down on the southwestern side, and both figures, as they leave your field of vision, they just kind of blend into their surroundings. As you approach, Elnor kind of inclines her head towards you. Greetings. I'm glad you could make this little appointment of ours. Did the road treat you well?
Yes.
Yes? You were not followed?
No.
No awkward questions asked by the guards?
They were happy to see us go.
Good. Good. Just as we like. Very well then, shall we... At this point, the elderly human steps forward. Enough of this. Come. Let's get underway. Haven't got all night. It's bloody cold out here. I'd like to get back to the warmth of a fire. So, which one of you has the sigil sequence?
Aye, that would be me.
Right, come on. Let's have it.
And I will explain to him the sigil sequence.
Okay, so you step forward and begin. Yes, he brings up a pad. It's like, come, draw them out here. So as you
Roll them
begin,
to the best of my abilities.
yeah, and it's easy enough for you to do. You're familiar enough with them. I'd say the intelligence check you did earlier to remember them is, I think you got like a 20 or something. So you're easily able to draw these from memory. Like, yes, I see. Right, well. Well, stand back, everybody, then. I shall begin. This will take a few minutes. Please. And he begins to get to work. Begins marking out a little 10-foot diameter circle between the two trees. Begins.
Can I use... Sorry. Can I use sending again
You may.
to inform our mother that we're on our way? We'll be leaving now.
Yeah. Okay, so you send the message. Oh, very well. I did let them know earlier. I did say what time to expect you, but I can try and run down there quickly now. But obviously, I think if you're getting ready to leave now, you'll probably get here before you will. So she kind of waffles a little bit and gets cut off halfway through as the sending spell reaches its limit. So make sure you have marked off those spells used. That's 3 sendings today now.
Yep.
Okay. So Elnor, while he's going about setting up the circle, this will only take a few minutes to prepare. So, how did you find Elturel? It's in...
Shit.
Oh, really?
I can't even forge in there without being part of their guild.
Guilds, unions. Yes, they're very keen on all of that. City of Law and Order, don't you know? They're very keen on the order part of it. It is a rather stifling place. Have you ever been to Baldur's Gate? Fascinating city. Elturel, not so much. Well, she kind of stands there awkwardly looking around, just like, so, yes.
I don't think we need to exchange pleasantries.
I think Rogar's just stood there with his arms crossed, like, waiting.
Yeah. So you're waiting and you're watching as the mage goes about setting up the circle. He's finished setting the runes now, and he's beginning some incantations. Some of the runes around the outside begin to glow. He steps forward then and adds additional runes. You can see, Gotrek, that he's adding the particular sigils, the destination sigils now, to the outer ring of runes. Almost ready. Just a little bit longer. 2 or 3 minutes. If you'd all like to get ready to travel, remember it won't stay open for long. You'll need to move quickly, and obviously there is quite a lot of you. He glances over your menagerie.
Can Taraxis fit through the portal?
You might have to dismiss him.
Yes. I'll touch him on the nose and just be like, I'll see you on the other side, my friend.
The other side is boring. I'd rather see you on this side. Very well.
It won't be long.
I hold you to that.
Okay, you dismiss Taraxis.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you've got your detect magic view, like sight back up.
Yes, now we're out of the way of Elturel
Okay.
blinding me.
Yeah, you notice that obviously there's the glow coming off of the circle that's slowly intensifying as the magic kicks in. The mage himself gives off a fair kind of magical aura. It looks like he's got a few trinkets on him. Nothing particularly, like, nothing major, nothing too intense, but adorned with a few things. Elnor seems to have a simple pendant around her neck that has a faint aura. I would say, let me just double check and see what you would get a ping for the school off of this.
Yes.
The circle's definitely given off a conjuration aura. The trinkets the mage has, a bit of all sorts, a bit of evocation, a bit of illusion, a bit of conjuration. Divination is what's coming off of the pendant that Elnor wears. I would say, what is the range on that detect magic as well?
I think detect magic is 30 feet.
30 feet. Okay, yep. Yep, that's fine. Pencil magic within 30 feet. Cool.
Would I have an idea of what divination roughly kind of equates to? What potentially this thing could do? What type of divination does?
It could be all sorts. Divination spells Do me an Arcana check. See how much Rogar knows about magic.
17.
17. All right. Yeah, you know a bit from your own experiences with magic. Divination spells tend to be get some examples. So,
Rain.
well, things like guidance. Guidance is divination. Detection spells. Your own detect magic is divination of a sort. Whether it's detecting magic, detecting evil, for example, even detecting things like poison. That the identify spell Gotrek uses, as well as stuff like augury, commune. So a lot of the things that priests and clerics and paladins use to communicate with the deities falls under divination. Scrying, such spells are divination, but also things like speak with animals. That Grishnak is capable of is divination. Comprehend languages.
Okay,
These
cool.
are all divination spells. So it's that kind of... Yeah, that's the realm we're talking about. So it could be a few different things.
Cool.
So after he's been working on this circle for about 7-8 minutes, and you've been listening, stood there kind of in awkward silence, as the sun sets. I mean, there's not many trees around, but you can still hear the chirping of birds here and there. Just that general kind of twilight, kind of ambient nature sounds. You don't notice it at first, but you suddenly realise the birds have stopped. There's a eerie silence that radiates out. And just as you've noticed it, you hear a cry out from the northwestern side towards the kind of rocky escarpments. You hear a voice cry out sharply, "Elno! Look out!" And it kind of cuts off with a strangled sound. Put you
Why
on.
did I dismiss Tyraxis? Should have waited until we were going through the portal.
So, if you give me just a second. And at the same time, you then hear a shout go up from the, basically kind of from all sides. You hear voices calling out in warning. Something approaches! And I will quickly put you on the map. So yeah, place yourself within that black square, black circle, where you feel you would be at this time. And I will quickly roll some initiatives. And yeah, once you are placed, roll initiative.
How do I can't change layers, can I?
No, I can do that for you in just a second. Oh yes, of course. Put your mounts up as well.
I rolled twice because I get advantage on initiative.
You do get advantage.
I think you can set that in the sheet.
Possibly.
I'll have a look.
Yeah, in the middle.
Yeah.
Initiative style advantage.
Oh, really? One of this, there's always something has to go wrong. Fucking sheets. Works fine when you're setting it up, and then one of them decides, we're going to make everything small and condensed and shit.
Yeah, typical.
Woo!
Oh man, we got some high rolls here, boys.
I rolled my +2.
How am I in the lead? What the fuck?
What are you in the lead with? That's the question.
Just initiative, that's it.
Yeah, but how high was it?
Not high.
Oh, Grishnak's got 17.
Mine should be
Oh, there you go.
17.
Perfect. Oh, of course, you did advantage, didn't you? Okay.
Do you need me to edit it in the thingy?
Yes, please.
You might need to be able to edit your own, actually. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, you can. I can edit mine anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Set yours to 17 then.
Where did he say that thing was?
Which thing?
A cog,
That thing.
and then in the middle where you've got
attribute options.
Yeah.
Go down almost to the bottom, and then you've got an strength, dex, charisma, blah 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 blah. Initiative modifier, initiative style.
I can't see that. Oh, right, yeah. Initiative style. Yeah, advantage. Cool.
I'm styling.
I'm going to have to change that at some point. I need to fix those bloody goat things. I'm guessing Moonin's... Where's Moonin at? Put Moonin there.
Where's the black circle gone?
Oh, I got rid of it. As you are all in position now.
Yeah, mounted.
Yeah, if you want to be mounted, then obviously quickly mount yourself up. So you've got time to do that while the shouts are going out.
Get mounted.
Should we get Moonin actually closer to the portal?
And they call it a mine.
Mine!
Are the excuse me if I seem to not quite know what's going on at the minute. Where's the eggs at this point in time?
Ah, right, yes, the eggs would be between Butthead and Ramsey, so...
So he goes there.
Yeah.
So, would we be mounted on Butthead or Ramsey? Or...
that's up to you.
If we're about to go in the portal, I reckon we would be mounted, right?
Yeah, I think we would be, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We'll do that then.
So,
Thanks, yeah, on that twice.
I'll just move it sideways.
What's that?
It's meant to be an egg.
Oh.
Egg.
Looks like a Rogar testicle.
He's got blue balls, literally.
Can you pop Taraxis like back out instantly? Like
Nope.
No.
10 minutes.
Time.
No.
So it's not actually like a familiar then?
No.
I feel like you were set up for that, dude. I'm not accusing the DM of anything, you know.
Yes, you are.
The DM was talking about a DM that used to say, "Oh, you're gonna die tonight." Oh, you've not got Taraxi, right?
Yeah, but I didn't tell you that you're gonna die tonight. I'm just making it happen. I'm surprising you with this shit. Deal with it.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So are we just gonna jump in and leave them? Yeah.
I'll say grab as many of them as we can.
As many what?
The people around us.
Well, let's see what happens.
The Zen.
Yeah.
Why?
Fuck them.
They did say that if we backstab them, we die.
We're not backstabbing them. We're just doing the thing.
Why don't we kill everyone?
We're leaving them to
Yeah.
die.
I mean, it would be a shame if they were to meet with an unfortunate accident after.
I know, right? That had nothing to do with us.
Yeah, I mean, like if I'm swinging for someone else and I end
I'm
up,
pretty sure if we leave them there, we're doing part of the problem.
Well,
Yeah.
that'll be something you'll need to decide on the fly because we are getting underway with this. So, as the calls go out, the mage cries, "You've got to protect me. Only another minute to go.
Oh.
Whatever happens, don't let them get to me."
10 minutes.
Okay, so next up, so the two bodyguards will step closer towards him, readying their large brutish maces. They are readying torches as well, so, well, not that you guys need it, but it is creating a... You should be able to see that torchlight as well as your own field of view. No, it doesn't seem to be. Dynamic lighting has... Roll20's really fucked it up lately. It's a little bit all over the place. I had a lot of problems setting this map up, so yeah, the torches are meant to be giving you illumination. They're not, so I'm just going to delete them. Whatever, but yeah, those two bodyguards do have torches out, and they're standing ready with large, heavy maces. Elnor herself, you see, she flicks back her cloak. There's a large, bulky cloak that she had on. Draws a rapier in one hand, and a hand crossbow in her other. And stands looking ready. She suddenly goes from looking, a bit demure, relaxed to being, she stands with this kind of almost cat-like, ready to pounce, and her eyes are darting around. Keep your wits about you. They could come from any direction. We don't know what we're up against. When I find out who dares messes with the Zent. Okay, Grishnak, you're up.
right. These are the baddies.
Fuck. No, those figures that you can see, and they were concealed up until this point. Since the shout's gone out, they've kind of somewhat stepped out of hiding and are readying bows. Those are the cloaked, hooded figures that... Well, that one that you can see down there is the one that stepped into the copse of trees and kind of vanished amongst them, the one that guided you here. And you can
Right.
also see one taking a stance up on the rocks over here, and one starting to climb up a tree over here. They appear to be with you.
So we can't actually see anyone at the moment.
At the moment, no.
No.
You can do me a perception check, just like a little casual. I'm still
Okay.
torn whether I should be making use actions for these, but I think just hearing things. Okay, yeah, no, you have no idea. Looking around, you can't see anything, you can't hear anything. You're not sure what they're reacting to.
Right, so I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to hold my action so that if anyone comes within range of me throwing a javelin, I will throw a javelin at them.
Okay, so as you walk away, Moonin's just kind of stand there, just pouring at the ground a little bit. I would say, Rory, you've got your good animal handling. You're quite perceptive. The animals are very on edge.
Oh, I'll bet they are.
You can feel Ramsey. Ramsey is not happy right now. Something has them spooked, and you're not sure what.
Oh, fuck.
And as you ponder this, you do notice a strange smell on the air that you can't quite place. It's quite unusual.
Oh,
And at this point, you hear something. Sounds like marching. Like the tread of heavy feet in unison. But not like the sharp, clipped march of anything you've ever heard before. There's more of a slow 1, 2, 1, 2. There's quite a almost forebodingness to it. And you notice, I'd say, have you got vision on that? I mean, they're going to come into your view anyway. I'm just being fussy at this point. Yeah. You watch as some figures begin trudging into view. They're unlike anything you've ever seen before. Humanoid, but probably normally standing around 6 foot, but they're hunched over, their heads almost hanging down in front of their chests. They're hard to make out too many details. They appear to have this kind of bluish grey skin, but they're clad in shining bronze armour. Weird, leering faces all over it, but what really stands out is their helmets, or rather their masks. These featureless, kind of uncanny valley, cherub-like masks, almost angelic. And they all trudge forward, these large red cloaks trailing behind them. Two of them, the ones that you see coming over on the right, two of them holding large, grim-looking halberds with sharp, serrated edges. One of them hefting this large, heavy crossbow. And as you see them slowly trudging in from the east, you see another group coming in from the northeast. At the same time, some come in from the west. You can hear that same
oh, they look freaky.
familiar plodding. Have you ever seen, if any of you have ever seen Brazil, think the weird fucking messed up baby mask things from his vision. You're not far off.
Well, Django put a gif of it in the group chat earlier on.
Might have been foreshadowing. As they begin marching forward. 6. Straight towards you over here, Grishnak.
That will trigger my action now.
Which one do you want to hurl at?
Closest one. Go
Closest,
for that guy.
yeah, make me an attack roll.
Will I get 2 on him? With me having a double
I think
attack
so,
action?
yeah. You've held your attack action, and that is 2 attacks. So I'll say so, yeah. I might be wrong on that one, but...
Well,
No, I think you're right.
well.
So you hurl that, and it goes sailing forward, and it just clangs off of its armour. Doesn't even flinch, just keeps marching forward. You can't... It seems just to be staring right at you, but with this almost baby-like mask on, it's unnerving.
And then I'm going to go for another one.
That one does hit, as you manage to find a gap in between its armour, and it pierces through.
Nice.
Okay. Doesn't even flinch. Just keeps on marching. The one with the crossbow marches forward a little bit and then stops, raises its crossbow at you and fires.
No.
Ooh, you're lucky it doesn't have advantage. That's an 18 to hit you.
It still hits.
That's for 12 points of piercing damage. You're not raging yet.
I am not. No.
So the crossbow bolt finds its finds its mark, thuds in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you do see another one, and then another, starting to approach up the hill. So this bit here. This is where you came up the hill by. So there is a slight slope here. They're coming up towards you from. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. It's just going to go to there, I think. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. 3, 4. I'll put him there. And coming in on this side. And there's a kind of a slow. They don't move quickly, but they seem to cover quite a bit with each stride. There's like a deliberate, purposeful. It's kind of like watching Mike Myers come at you.
Oh God.
Do not
Rogar,
recommend.
all of these things radiate magic, but it's unlike anything you've ever seen.
Perfect. Just what I want to know.
You can't place it, but it feels foul. It feels deeply unpleasant. And as one reaches you, Ruri kind of lumbers up, ready as its halberd, and comes in with a big swing at you. It's an 8.
Miss.
So it's quite slow, so you're easily able to duck underneath it. As you do so, it comes back around. That's a natural 1.
Nope.
So you're easily able to dodge out of it. You do, if you wish, you can spend a reaction to retaliate.
Yeah, why not?
Go for it.
Why not? I'll retaliate.
As you swing down, it just clangs off the armor with this mask. Doesn't even break away, just staring right at you. It's almost angelic gaze. As 2 at the back raise their crossbows. There's going to be one coming at you, Rogar. That's a 23.
That'll do it.
It's for 12 piercing damage. Whew. And then the other one is going to raise at the cloaked figure, currently taking a stance atop the rocks and beginning to take aim. Fires at them. That's an 18 to hit them, which, let me double check, absolutely does hit for another 6 piercing damage. The figure does grunt. It's kind of like a muffled cry as the crossbow thuds into its thigh, and it kind of grips at the bolt and just snaps it off before trying to ready its own bow. Okay. With that... So Elnor, ready herself, looking around, looking a little bit unsure. Looks over to the bulk of you over on the eastern side of this. Whatever you do, protect Aldred, otherwise none of us are getting out of here. And she's going to step up just a little, and she's going to aim her hand crossbow at the one that you threw the javelin at, Grishnek. And she's going to fire once. For a 16, which just hits, finds a little chink. But again, this thing doesn't even flinch, it just keeps coming. Doesn't seem to give a damn. Alright, Ruri, you're up.
Okay. So I'll tell Ramsey to stay with Butthead, which I suppose is just him like delaying his movement to move when Butthead does.
If you dismount, Ramsey will be acting on its own.
I'm gonna stay on him. This is just flavor for me delaying his movement until Cal and Butthead move, so that.
Okay, right. You want him to move in unison.
Yes,
I'll allow
exactly.
it. Yep. So neither of you can move. That's cool.
Yeah. Could I also see what a 10-foot radius sphere looks like?
If
we have one of those?
Radius, yes, we can do that. Give me a second. That's 20 foot. Oh, that's annoying. I don't have one set up as a 20-foot sphere.
What do you want? 10 foot radius.
20-foot radius. Oh, wait, no, we do. Yeah, it is basically... Oh, Canabray's favourite.
Yep.
So that would be 20 foot.
Bloody hell! Are you sure?
Yeah. Radius or diameter?
Oh no, 10. I said 10-foot radius.
10-foot radius. All right, yeah. Basically, you see that circle in the middle? Oh, no, wait.
Yes.
No, that's
What?
5-foot radius.
Yeah.
Here we go. That's 10-foot radius.
Oh, lovely. I'm going to cast Shatter, so I want to get loads of those boys, if I can.
All right. I mean, you can control that. Where do you want to place it?
Could I get, like, I want to get that one as well as this one, so maybe slightly more north?
See what we can do. We can do that.
Yes, I would
Get the
love
four
to
of
do
them.
that.
It's not the
Yes,
right...
please.
Yeah. I have to get you a proper thunder one for Shatter.
That's all right.
Beg your pardon.
Oh,
Okay, so I
boom.
believe that is saves for them.
wow, that's such damage.
Okay, Constitution saves. All right. That's a 6. That's a 5. That's a 12. And that's a 20. So the furthest one from you makes the save. So we'll only take 4 damage. The others take the full 8. Is there any additional effects to that? Or is it just damage?
I don't think this is the one where they fly. This is like non-magical items take the damage as well.
Okay, yeah. Oh, hang on a second. I got that wrong. Sorry, I just noticed something on their thing. They all pass their saves.
Oh, great.
So yeah, the force rings out. They don't even stagger.
God, these things.
I'm going to give the wizard bardic inspiration.
Okay, yeah. What can you use that for? Saving throws?
Saving throws, ability checks, and attack rolls as well.
Okay, cool. Good to know. Give him a little inspiration.
And yeah, I'm done.
Okay. Rogar, you're up.
Right. It's on like Donkey Kong. I'm going to cast Hex on this weird fucker.
Yep, there's no save on that, is there? It's just...
but he's going to get... I get to choose... He has disadvantage on certain checks.
Yep.
So I'll give him disadvantage on strength.
Okay.
And I'm going to run in 5, 10, and slash upwards at this guy.
Do it.
Come on now.
You went and spoke to that gypsy lady. You didn't go and speak to the gypsy lady, man.
Fucking hell.
Okay.
Give it to me.
He's going to attack
Hit
you
me
back,
with your
man.
best shot.
That's a 14.
No.
Okay. Yeah, they're quite jerky in their movements in like an unnatural way. But you're able to... It kind of telegraphs his swing quite well. You're able to dodge.
Okay, and then I'll try and hit him again.
That will hit, just.
Okay. So that's 4 necrotic from the Hex and 9 slashing.
Yep. And that he does actually stagger a little bit from that blow.
Ah.
That one seems to cut through his armor and actually injure it.
Interesting.
Okay, anything else?
I will hold steadfast.
Steadfast. Gotrek, you're up.
Okay. Which one has taken damage so from these?
The bottom. The bottom one is the one that Grishnak and Elnor attacked, but you did see as the javelin found purchase as well as the hand crossbow didn't even flinch.
Tally ho! Damn it.
Grishnak, Gotrek's about to charge.
Charge!
Okay then.
Sif's gonna go in for a ram
Go for it.
or a charge. Is it charge? Charge.
Yeah, so basically just make an attack roll, and then if it hits,
Oh,
it does not hit.
Sif,
And
you fool.
Creature as Sif comes in and lunges, but it sees it coming and just, yeah, in this unnatural way, just lurches to the side and swings its halberd at Sif. That's a 20 to hit Sif.
Hits.
Yep, for 7 slashing. It scores along Sif's side. Okay. So that was Sif's action.
Yep. And then I'm going to take a swing with the help action from Scardy.
Okay, so Scardy starts flying in interference, fluttering around its head. And it does, it seems to kind of, it's eerie as it looks up at Scardy fluttering above it, and it's that, the mask just giving it this calm, benign, like impassionate gaze. It's freaky, but that does hit. Oof, that well hits.
Take it!
Oof, for 13 points of damage. As you strike it, and it kind of staggers under your blow. And the mask just comes back around to stare at you. Okay.
Bonus action.
Got any bonuses you want to throw out there?
Yeah, I want to cast Bless.
Yep. So 3 figures within 30 feet.
Is it second level? I can do. Is it second level? Do more people?
I believe so. Yeah, for each spell level, I think you add an additional person.
I'm trying to read
Let me
it. It's not coming up for a second.
That's
Oh, there
fine.
we go. You can target one additional player.
Okay. Yep. So 4 people.
So 1, 2.
4 creatures. You could arguably bless Sif if you wished, but they have to be within 30 feet.
Okay, so yeah, I'll go Sif, me, Grishnak, and what's her face?
Elnor.
Elnor, yeah.
Actually, no, that we won't use that. We use that one for Sanctuary, don't we? What should we use for Bless? We'll use the Fist. Otherwise, we'll get all mixed up. The might of Moradin blesses ye. Okay. That's your turn?
Yeah.
The scouts. So, the one who took a heavy crossbow shot is going to steady themselves and is going to quickly fire off 2 shots with their bow towards... they're going to aim at this one here who's plodding in. Their first shot is going to be an 11. It just pings off the armor. The second shot also just, yeah, pings off the armor. No effect. Another one is going to fire on the one attacking you, Rogar. It's going to try and shoot them in the back. Given they climbed up the tree when all this started, yeah, given they were relatively obscured, their positioning, the fact they're attacking from behind, I'm going to give them advantage on this shot. So that's a 20 to hit. As one arrow thuds into its back. Oh, I did that wrong. And then a 6 to hit. So the second shot does just bounce off their armour. Oh, you would go to pee right before your turn, Cal. Git. Right. The scout down here, seeing you guys dealing with these 3 coming in, is actually going to start firing down the hill towards the ones approaching from that direction. Likewise, I'm going to give them advantage because of their ensconced position. That's a natural 20 on the first shot. Okay. And then their second shot is another natural 20. Wow. Points to that guy. 2 nat 20s in a row. For a total of, that's another, okay, yeah. So, yeah, the thing, it doesn't seem to react much to the hits. Just keeps making its way towards you, slowly but surely. Now it would be Cal's turn. He went to pee. Well, since he's bloody gone to pee, I'm going to go pee. Does anyone need to go pee?
Yeah.
Oh, I need to go pee.
No.
Let Cal know when he gets back he needs to think about what he's doing. I'll be back in
I
just a
can
The
moment.
music is amazing.
Yeah, I've transitioned to like the full like Bloodborne boss list.
You should.
The-
Right, I'll be back in a moment.
Yeah,
What
the one
the-
you posted, Rick, is like terrifying. I love
Yeah,
it.
man.
What's that from?
It's Christoph Penderecki. He's a modern day composer. The song itself is called Threnody to the Victims of Hiroshima, and it's just basically him trying to capture the horror of like Hiroshima, basically.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, it's dark, but it's cool.
It's
That'd be a
awesome.
great part of the recording.
So I can show my classical music knowledge now, but a threnody is basically a song that like memorializes something.
Ah, very nice.
Dude, that's so niche. I love that.
I've been struggling with royalty-free music for our stream on for Rolling Thunder. Fucking hell, it's dreadful, this shit on Spotify.
Okay. Is he back? You're back.
Yeah.
Right, what are you doing, Cal?
He is back. Apologies. I really was
That's okay. I know what it's like.
getting old, you know what I mean? Okay, so I was, pondering maybe, setting fire to some stuff and seeing what happens.
Oh,
Okay,
hell
yeah.
yeah.
Set fire to some stuff and see what happens.
So, so let me just bring out the Sphere of Doom.
Okay.
Don't get Rogar.
That won't get Rogar. Not touching him.
Okay, I'm just
That
making
would
sure.
get Rogar.
You could probably tweak it down a little bit if you needed, and
Ooh,
probably
that's
get
right in front of him. That's pretty cool.
get all of them. Well, most of them.
Most of them.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Skadoosh.
Big damage.
Where would I be without your fireballs?
So,
Because I've just been watching what's been going on. I'm thinking, is Fireball going to do anything? Are we going to do this? And nothing's going to happen.
as you invoke Kasuth, and the bead of flame shoots out from your hand, exploding in the midst of them. Rogar, you are right at the very edge of this, and the one in front of you, you see get completely enveloped by the flames that radiate out from the explosion. And as the flames die down, the cloak smoulders a little bit. The creature is completely unfazed. As they keep marching on.
I knew it.
No effect.
I knew it.
Anything else you want to do, Cal?
Cry into my mask.
It was going to happen sooner or later, man.
No, dude, I knew. I had a thread the other day on Reddit. A guy was saying, "What do I do about my cleric that only ever casts Fireball?" And I'm thinking, cleric, because I do guiding bolt and all that sort of stuff. But I was thinking it's going to happen at some point.
I want it to be known now. This was something I only noticed about these creatures after I picked them. Okay, it wasn't a thing of what can I pick to screw Cal over. It was something I picked, and then I was looking over the sheet last night. I was going, "Oh shit!"
Now I need to remember what my axe does because it's got a thing, and I don't know where my book is.
Okay, so
no, I suppose I did a roll for butthead, but then if I can't do anything but because it's attached to an egg. So
I mean, yeah, if you want to move, then Ramsey will move with you, but you don't really want to go far. It's up to you, man. But yeah, you are still attached. But yeah, if that's everything.
I might move. It's worth moving up to here, so
Oh yeah, just closer.
the priest's back.
Yeah, you can do that. So you move a little bit closer to...
Stoosh.
Oh, need to grab that thing and move it as a whole.
I can't move the egg.
No, I can, but I've got to... Because there's various layers to it. It's really hard to move, you get. Hang on. Do that. And do that. Oh, for goodness sakes. How do I grab the whole fucking... You know what? The egg can stay there. We know where it is. Bloody eggs.
Egg.
Okay, so as we go into the next round, the evoker, so the mage continues feverishly working away. The two bodyguards, they will, they're just going to stand there, kind of readying themselves. What would they do? No, they're going to stay standing by the mage, just keeping an eye out, watching for anything that's going to come close. There we go. Yep. So this one is just going to come in, flanking him, and they're both there, like maces ready, watching. Grishnak, you're up.
Right, well, natural mon, I am going to go into a rage.
Yep.
And I'm going to go up to this guy. Because Scardy's there, will I have advantage already?
Scardy, Yeah, I think so.
Right.
What do you roll on that one, Rogar? Does somebody else's familiar also give... I mean, Scardy's still griefing this thing.
The help action gives advantage to the next attack.
Right, okay.
Against that creature. It's not even necessarily the person, like, it wouldn't have to be Godtrek. It could be the next attack by anyone, but then it's consumed.
It's consumed. Okay, so no, you wouldn't get the advantage. At this point, I'm just going to say the creature isn't even paying attention to Scardy right now.
That's fine. I'm going to go in Reckless then with a big swing from the Giant Slayer.
Big boy swing. That'll hit.
Oof.
Stick that rage damage on, obviously.
See, this is what baffles me, Rogar. You've got a higher hit modifier than Grishnek does. Just
wait a minute.
No, I got +7.
My weapon's buggered up again, I think.
You sure? Because it's rolled a 17 and a 19 there.
No, my
your damage roll.
Damage dice is going as 1. I think unless I actually just rolled a 1.
You might have.
I think you're right.
We'll say you did for this one, and then we'll see if it comes up again. Then check it. Okay, so that's 8 points.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to do the same thing again.
Yep. 18 does hit.
No, it was just a bad luck roll.
Just bad luck roll. Okay, so it staggers under that assault, stumbling backwards and falling down to one knee, kind of holding itself up on the halberd, looking up at you. And there's this hissing sound. The mask is slightly cracked, and you can see beneath the mask this bluish grey flesh, and you can see what looks like broken, kind of severely chapped lips with sharp pointed teeth in between. It's just hissing at you. And that will bring us... Anything else? Note you rage. That was your bonus action. Okay. So as it does that, it's then going to lash out at you. Actually, it's going to lash at you with its halberd. That's a natural 20 to hit you, Krishnak.
Yeah.
So that's going to be 23 halved to 11 slashing damage.
Oh, that is spicy.
Spicy meatball.
And as it does that, it kind of rises back up, and it's going to swing at you again for 25.
Right. Yeah, it's going to hit as well.
For 8 halved to 4.
That's better.
That is better. I'd say this one then is going to move down to attack you. That's a 13.
Nope.
And then a swing at you again for 24.
Yeah.
For 6 halved to 3. The one at the back is watching with curiosity, and it's going to raise its heavy crossbow and fire. That's a 13 to hit Scardy.
13.
13.
Let me just...
I happen to know what Scardy's AC is, actually, to be honest, mate. Yeah.
12.
You watch as Scardy
Is it disadvantage because she's tiny?
You could argue that, but I'll tell you, he rolled a 13 and a 12.
Oh, meter beaters.
You just watch as Scardy just puffs out of existence.
Oh.
Okay. These things, they're not stupid. So, you also watch as... You barely have time to focus on that Godtrek, as you see 2 of these things trudging up the hill. Well, actually, more than 2 of them. Trudging up the hill towards you. So they begin to move in around you.
The lesser known Cape Bush hit.
Running up that hill.
Are they dashing up the hill?
They're not... Oh, sorry. They're not dashing. Didn't mean to do that. So that was... Hang on.
Horrifying.
1, 2, 3. That was horrifying. They're not dashing. They've got quite a slow pace to them, but it's kind of like that unstoppable, implacable advance. She's going to move up to there, and he'll move up to there. Oof. They're going to hold their ground. This one's going to pursue. This one's going to come down, and it's going to stop by that one. These guys, I'm going to say this is difficult terrain they're about to have to negotiate. So that was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and then up that way. So then it's going to get 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 as it tries to get up and around. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay. So those 3 attacked already. Right. Godric, you've got a bunch of halberds coming at you.
Cool.
So the first one comes in at 23.
Miss.
Next one is a 14.
Miss.
That's going to be a 17.
Miss.
Another 17.
Yes.
The next two are coming at Sif. It's a
Shit.
19.
Ah.
It's a 19 against Sif.
Let me just check. Splint. Safe.
I need to update
Splint.
Sif's sheet actually, so that Sif has the updated AC.
Oh no, hit.
Yep, that's 14 slashing.
So she.
She's on 26 at the moment, so I'll take it down to 12. And then a 15 to hit Sif.
Miss.
Miss. Whew. You're lucky. I think you did that the one you gave her 2,612.
Yes.
What?
There we go.
Sif is all powerful.
Um,
I don't know if Sif was the goat god.
and there's the heavy crossbow is going to fire coming at you as well, Gortrek, because you're quite a big, imposing shape, but that's an 11.
Miss.
And then one at that scout up in the tree for a 7, which is also a miss. Just whistles past them. Okay, over on the eastern side, Ruri. The halberd's going to swing at you again. For a 23.
Yeah, that hits.
That's 14 slashing.
Oh, was that it?
Yep. As it comes around, it's going to reverse grip and swing back at you for a 20.
That hits.
For 5 points of slashing.
Cool.
So 19 total. Whew. The ones against you, Rogar. That's a 21 to hit you.
Yeah, that hits, and I need to make a concentration check.
Okay, so 14 slashing. And easily make a concentration check.
So 14 slashing.
14 slashing. Its other attack comes in as an 8.
No, obviously.
Then the other one attacks you. That's a 23.
Yeah.
So
that hits.
that's another 14.
Oh, hello.
And then its next attack is a 15 to hit. I'm afraid Hex goes down.
Bye-bye, Hex.
But yeah, the last attack was a 15. But still, that was 28 damage total. These guys hurt. The one attacking the scout comes in and starts thrusting at her up on the rock with a natural 1.
Hello.
So the scout is going to, with like an offhand, quickly draw a short sword and strike back for another natural 1.
Nice.
Don't worry, it doesn't stack. They're not going to go back and forth. But it is going to swing at her again with its halberd anyway for a 12. So she's managing to fend this thing off. The ones with the heavy crossbows, however, one is going to raise and fire at you, Rogar. It's a 19.
No.
Just bounces off your arm and the bolt shatters. That was a close one. But the other one is going to aim at the scout up on the rock. For 7, it just whizzes past her. She kind of ducks and spins. But unfortunately, as she rises, so she does a little kind of spin, comes low, and as she comes up, the other creature that just crested the hill fires its crossbow, and she basically spins up into it, and it catches her straight in the throat. She lets out gurgling, staggers back, falling from the rock.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, she weak as hell.
TPK. Do it.
Elnor is going to step down just to be a little closer to the... Actually, no, she would hold her position because she can see those guys coming in. She's going to fire... She's an opportunist. She's going to shoot at the one that she saw you badly wound, Grishnak. And in fact... Oh, I didn't apply that for her last turn. I should have. Doesn't matter. She will shoot. Natural 20.
Nice.
So that's 6, 7, and then she gets her sneak attack, which I didn't give her last time. So that's going to be 12 plus 2d6 for another 17. So that's a total of 24, which is more than enough. She shoots a shot and it goes right in that gap, the crack of the mask. Just thuds into whatever this thing has, passes for a face that's behind it, and it just slowly keels over backwards. As it starts to fall, it starts to burn and disintegrate. In fact, Grishnak, think the Dravo on Resi 6. You know
Oh,
how they burn away. It just burns into ash as it falls back, and by the time it hits the floor, it's just there's a smell of brimstone, and it's just a wisp on the air.
See, this is the thing. You've been watching me play too much Resident Evil, and
I
now you
know.
just keep giving us creepy enemies.
This is coming anyway, man. Don't worry. Okay, Ruri, you're up.
Oh, good. Right. How injured is the guy that just hit me?
Impossible to tell.
Yeah, I thought as much. Cool. I need some backup, so oh, not that. I'm gonna spirit weapon in.
Yep.
Just right there, and I'll take a swing on the one in front of me.
That'll just hit.
Nice.
7. Yep.
And then I think I'm just gonna Sacred Flame the same dude.
Okay. Dex save. It's an 18.
Good for him.
Flames burst around it, and it just doesn't care.
I'm in
Okay.
danger. Okay, that's me.
Rogar,
I'm in danger.
you're in danger.
I'm gonna cast my Valorian's curse
Yep.
on this guy above, and
Okay.
then I'm going to give him a couple of old wackety whacks.
Wackety whack.
24 to hit,
That will hit.
and I'm gonna drop a first level smite.
I would.
That's 10 radiant.
Yep. I'm ignoring that additional Valorian's curse, aren't I?
No, that. Oh, yes, you are.
Yeah.
Duh.
So just the
Yeah.
first 3. So 8, 3, that's 11, 21. Oof. That blow
and then-
staggers it to its feet.
And then
Sorry,
another
staggers
one.
it to its knees.
Ah!
It's looking, yeah, it looks messed up.
And then I'm gonna drop a first level on it just in case.
Just in case, all right.
So that's I got like roll damage.
It's enough. It's a lot of damage. It's definitely
Okay.
enough. So the first blow knocks it down to its feet as the radiant light explodes around it, and then the second one is you see its weakness and vulnerability, and you just bring your sword down into its where its collarbone would be, and it just drops its halberd and keels over and burns up in the same way as the others.
That's the good thing about
That's the other
Hexblade. Gives you a crit on a
You-
19.
Also get health back, don't you?
I do. Warlock level plus charisma modifier. So I'll take that.
Every little helps.
Every little does help in this situation.
So that's your action,
And bonus action for Valorian's Curse.
of course. So
So
that's
I am. Yeah, I'm
That's
done. Done so
sure to
Janelle.
add that health back on. Gotrek, you're up.
Cool. I made a whoopsie last round.
Yes.
Bless is an action, so I will forego an action this turn to make up. For
Okay. No, that's very good of you.
it. So, is it a bonus action for spiritual weapon?
Bonus. Yeah, spiritual weapon is a bonus.
Yeah.
Why is none of my screens coming up here?
Roll 20 hates
Mario.
you tonight.
It does. My computer is actually hating me.
Oh, they've obviously changed some stuff. It's been sulking lately. Like I say, I had a nightmare with the dynamic lighting for this map. Absolute nightmare. And the new dynamic lighting, I'm sorry, Roll20, but the new dynamic lighting at the moment sucks. It does, man. So I get that they're trying to make it easier to set up, but it's like it's on or it's off. You can't do dim light. You can't do anything like that. It's just massive.
Yeah, that's going to shit itself a little bit.
Yeah, just massive spotlights. Okay, so spiritual weapon up. Which one are you attacking with it?
I'm going to take that one.
Yep, that's the one you've already wounded. So
Why is it not?
it will. It will. Oh, yeah, that's a hit.
Oh, cool. I need
You
to
guys
take
did go and see that gypsy lady and apologise.
I've been nice to everyone I've seen this week. So, which
Yeah,
is
but
practically
wait, we're in
no one.
lockdown, so that's like, yeah, no one. Okay, yep. Damage coming. 11 points of force damage. Yep, that seems to... oh, wait, I did that wrong. Definitely seems to find some purchase, do some damage.
Can
Ramsey can make
Sif.
his attack. Sorry, Sif can make his attack, yeah.
Yeah, no, it doesn't want to do anything.
Yeah, it'll come, don't worry. It's just taking its sweet-ass time. 14 doesn't hit, I'm afraid.
Cool.
Okay. The scouts. So the one up in the tree near you, it's actually going to drop down to the floor using a bit of its movement. It's then going to quickly pull out its bow and fire off a couple of shots at the one approaching it. For a 16, that'll hit. Again, though, really doesn't look. You saw it hit, but you wouldn't have been able to tell otherwise. And then it's going to. The figure's going to start falling back. So is it 5 drop down, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, it's going to hold its position there. The one up top is going to open fire on the one attacking you, Rogar. I'm going to say they've still got advantage, but that's a 13 and a 20.
Yep.
Oh no, this isn't to hit you. This is to hit the one attacking you.
Oh, right.
But yeah, you just see an arrow. You see one arrow just like thud into the ground next to it, but another one slam into this creature's side, and obviously finds purchase, sinks into its flesh, but there's no reaction. No reaction from it. Okay, Cal, you're up.
So, leaving Butthead in the way of, well, everything.
Dismounting Butthead, yeah?
Gently hop down,
Okay.
and I am going to go this way.
So you have used half your movement to dismount.
Ooh.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I'd say it's 3 squares. You've got 30 overall, haven't you?
I have 30 overall, yeah.
Yeah, so I'd say you'd be there.
And I am going to take a two-handed battle axe swing at.
Then again, wait, no, because you could have dismounted there. So yeah, I'll say you can get up. You can get to it. Yep, go for your swing. Okay, so that hits.
Yay, a whopping 4.
Whopping 4. But
Extra flame 1d4 will do.
the flame bursts out around it, but doesn't seem to have any effect. But your axe itself does cut in through the armor. Seems effective. Okay, any bonus action?
No bonus action.
Nope. Okay, back to the top of the round. The mage sweating visibly and trying to work as fast as he can. There's only so much he can do. The bodyguard to the right of him, is kind of is looking nervously at the one attacking you, Ruri, as it's getting closer and closer, and looking back at the mage, looking at his friend, and the guy on the left of him is like, "Go! I'll watch him. Go on, sort him out." So he's going to come running up next to you, and he's going to.
Oh, my hero! Oh.
All right, I'll change his mind. He's not going to do that. If you're going to be sarky about it, he's going to swing a couple of times with his mace. That's a 14. Just clangs off the armor, and a natural 1. And it's after the first hit clangs off the armor, and the mask, the chilling, expressionless gaze is going to turn to this guy. As the second one comes in, second swing, he just suddenly jerks back out the way, and with a kind of abrupt little lunge, like almost a one-armed lunge, just lashes out with his halberd for a 16 on the dude, which does, yep, definitely hits for 8 slashing, cutting the bodyguard quite badly in the side, causing him to stumble a little bit. The other one is going to stay by the mage, trying to guard him, which will bring us to Grishnak. You're up.
Right then, I'm going to recklessly attack the guy in front of me here.
Go for it.
Right.
You need to start bringing some of these guys down. All right, that hit. Big numbers. Oof, that's a big number.
And then come back again with another one.
Yep. So the first one staggers it, essentially leaving it bloodied after just one hit. And the second one, oof, yeah, that one looks messed up. There's this weird kind of ichor. There's a heat radiating from its wounds, but there's this thick ichor dripping down from where you've gashed it open. All right, so that was pretty good. That your turn?
Yeah. I am going to actually position myself there, because if matey boy there fucks up his shot, he could end up hitting his pal.
Could do. All right. Now, as you move around him, Obviously, it's their go now. And he's going to swing at you as you maneuver. This is an opportunity attack. That's just flavour.
Yeah.
Fully round. That's a nat 20.
Yeah.
But
Gonna hit.
you're lucky. He rolled pretty low. So that's going to be 11 half to 5 slashing damage.
Fine.
The second attack comes in for 10.
Nah.
Attacking you, Gotrek.
Yep.
So the first one, seeing that Sif is looking a bit unsteady on her feet, the first attack's going to come in at her. That's a 13.
Miss.
And it's going to reverse and it's going to swing the next one at you for 23.
Miss.
But the next one's going to do the same thing. It's going to go at Sif first. That's a 25
Shit. Yeah.
for 10 points of slashing.
Hoi!
And then it's going to swing at you in the same manner for an 8.
Miss.
And then the last one, so the third one is, again, seeing your weakened mount and this position of power you have from above her, from atop her, it's going to swing at Sif. That's a 20
Yep. Hit.
for 6 slashing.
She dead.
She's not dead, she's down.
Oh, down.
Yeah, you do get to do death saves for your mounts. Because they're a little bit special. She's not dead yet. But that does throw you prone as she goes down. Well, actually, do me athletics or acrobatics as she
I will
falls.
do athletic.
Say DC 14.
Hey!
Yeah. So as she goes down, you're able to kind of almost vault from her and land kind of protectively.
The wide stance, like lands both feet down, like.
Yeah, and you land protectively in front of her.
It looks like you've glitched through her like a computer game.
Clipping, severe clipping. So the next swing is going to come at you. That's a 20.
Miss.
Which will miss, of course. But you do see as the one behind them is going to trudge towards the retreating form of that scout, and it's going to swing at them for 14. Check ACs. Sorry, I'm using some new things here, so I'm not sure what the ACs. Oh, that hits. It's a heavy blow. Cuts deep into them. You hear them cry out and stagger. There's a streak of bright red across their torso. And as they do so, it swings again, cutting in deep. Not quite killing. They look like they're barely hanging on. They trying to keep themselves standing, swaying heavily. That guy at the back near you, Grishnak, is going to fire at you.
Yeah.
That's a 16.
Oh, that misses.
Just misses. Whew, whistles past you. It's going to hold its position as it fires at you. One of them, this one here, is going to raise and fire at you, Gotrek. Actually, no, it's going to move up and it's going to fire at you, Grishnak.
Okay.
For another 16.
Nah.
And this one is going to start trudging forward. And it's going to fire at the bodyguard. Well, it's going to take aim at the mage, but seeing this happen, the bodyguard's going to kind of be readying themselves. It's going to try and step in the way. It's a natural one anyway. So the bolt just whizzes past into the distance. No effect there. Over on this side. Okay, we'll go for the one attacking you first, Grogar. So that's a 21 to hit you.
Yep.
Oh, that's 13 slashing. They have got it in for you, man. And the next attack coming in, seeing weakness. It's a 9.
Negative.
Okay. One in front of you, Ruri. So tension is diverted for a second by this guy who's coming with a mace. And it's going to swing at them. That's a 17. That hits for 9. And it's going to press that attack against them. 25. Oof. And it thrusts the halberd and the top of the halberd. So it's got the axe head. On one side, it's got this sharp, serrated, almost fang-like bit on the back. And then the top just has this nasty-looking spike on it. It just thrusts that deep into his gut, sending him reeling. And yeah, he's barely hanging in there. He's critical condition. Looks like he's bleeding out. This guy, I'm just going to put your spiritual weapon there. Oh, no, wait, he's going to have to step around anyway because the rock's there. This guy's going to step around and come at you, Cal. That's a 20 to hit you.
No hit.
For 7 slashing.
Okay.
and then a 13.
That'll miss.
Meanwhile, these guys, that's going to be 5, 10, 15, 15, 20, 25, 30. Oh, he's going to be in range. So another couple of attacks coming at you, Kel. That's a 20. You're
That'll hit.
lucky, because the other roll was a natural 20.
Nice.
So, yeah, you only take 6 points of slashing damage. And then the next attack is a 14.
Miss.
Okay, this guy is going to come around 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And there's going to be a volley of crossbow shots coming in as well. So one of them up here is going to spot the scout up in the tree at this point. It's going to fire on them. It's a 19, which does hit, 6 piercing. One of them's going to fire at you, Rogar. Actually, no. They've got a clear line of sight and they can see the weakness in that bodyguard. They're going to fire on him for 15. So, yeah, as this guy's staggering back, big wound in his, nasty-looking wound in his gut. And he kind of looks up to you, Rory, with a look of a bit of grim determination as well as a bit of worry, a bit of fear. And as he's looking up at you, this crossbow bolt just thuds into the side of his temple. He keels over. And then the next crossbow bolt, because you're elevated, is going to be at you. So that's a 16 to hit you, Rory.
Zentarum was supposed to be tough with the way they were going.
Well, they didn't necessarily expect anything, so they didn't bring their hard people with them, you know? Okay, so yeah, 16 at you, Rory, which will be a miss. Alright, Elnor's turn. Seeing that one coming in on her ally, she's going to dance down, flank round behind it to get advantage on her attack. She's going to come in and flick out with her rapier. That first hit's going to be a 17, which does hit. So that's going to be 8, plus her sneak attack, which is another 8. So, oof. But she looks a little bit confused and annoyed as her attack hits, but seems to be more or less shrugged off. But she's going to attack again. That's a natural 20. Shame she didn't have that for her sneak attack, but that's fine. So that's another 9. Yep. Again, doesn't really seem to affect it much, but she's doing her best. She's laying into it. Okay. Yeah, that was her. Rory, you're up.
Oh, good. Cool. I will spirit weapon that one, that guy.
Yep.
Just click thing.
That will miss.
Okay. To do. Can I guiding bolt the one attacking Rogar, please?
You can, yes.
Because spirit weapon wasn't a new spell. Never mind.
Yeah. I'd say because the guy in front of you kind of throws you off, guiding bolt goes wide.
I'm helping, yay!
Luckily, you're not Cal and Rogar's not Gortrek. And I think that would be too cruel for me to do that right now, so yeah, no.
Yeah, Gottrek's too far away.
Flies wide. Gortrek.
It circles round and hits Gotrek.
Ramsey rears up, throwing your hand behind you just as you release the spell. Gortrek takes... No, I'm not going to do that. All right.
I'll take it on the chin, I don't mind.
So, Rogar, it's your turn.
Did someone else just hit?
No, they didn't, but it would have been funny if they had.
I mean, I'm in a bit of a state, so I'm going to have to lay on hands myself for. I'm going to do 24 points.
Ooh, yep. That has to be done sometimes.
Yep.
You're always touching yourself.
I know, right?
Stop touching yourself when I'm meant to be fighting. You should be on. No, that's correct, isn't it?
And then
Got a
I've
bonus
still got
action.
a bonus action. Oh, I'm going to breath weapon.
Okay.
Nice.
Con
I only get
saves.
2 of them.
Yeah, you'd only get 2.
Yeah, because
There's no way of getting that one at the back. It's too far away.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
con
con-
saves.
Is DC 13. Fucking hell.
That is what it is. Okay, well that was an 8,
Nice.
and the other one was a. Actually, this is magic, isn't it?
It's magic.
Are we saying this is magic, or are we saying this is a?
I don't know.
I don't know. Is it Dragon's Breath magic?
It exhales
Yes.
a of energy. It deals with ancestry. Blah 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 blah.
I'm going to say because dragon breath attacks are considered magic.
Yeah, man.
I'm
Whatever.
afraid it is. So they do both pass. So that's going to be. So as the frost crystallizes around them, don't really seem like they give a fuck.
Oh hell no!
It does some damage,
Hell no.
but not much.
Okay.
But
Cool.
you healed.
Yeah, that's
That's
what's
important thing.
right?
Gotrek.
See,
See,
senor.
So yeah, you've got a little bit of a clusterfuck around you,
Yeah.
and you will, in fact, yeah, go ahead and roll me a d20 for Sif. That is a pass. That's one successful death save for Sif. Now what are you doing?
Okay. As my action, I'm gonna try Word of Radiance.
Okay. So that is a save for them.
Yeah.
DC 14 save.
That doesn't seem. Oh no, I rolled a 4 and a 2.
Yeah,
Wonder how
sorry.
damage, so-
That's a 16, a 20, and a 15 on their saves.
oh,
Why is that a Constitution? Oh right.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that was Wisdom.
No, not Word of Radiance, I'm
So it was
afraid.
Radiant damage. Bollocks. Alright, that was useless. Should have read that properly. I thought that would have been better. Oh well.
I would say at this point you're starting to get the impression these things are quite resistant to magic.
I was more going for the side of Radiant.
No, I'm afraid they made their saves.
The holy side.
You do have your bonus action.
I'll take a swing with my thing on spiritual weapon.
Swing your thing.
I swing my spiritual weapon and I shall strike him down.
I swing my thing back and forth. No, I'm not doing
No!
that. That will hit.
What don't ring the bell?
Not a lot of damage, I'm afraid.
Didn't ring the bell.
Did not ring his bell. Okay, the scouts. Well, that one up with Elnor, looking rough, but it's going to, kind of like a last-ditch effort, it's going to lash out with its short sword twice. It's a nat one. As the creature responds by lashing out with the tip of its halberd. Just the tip. That's an 11, which is not enough. You got lucky. It's going to lash out again for 17, which does hit. Does a little cut. But yeah, it's not looking good for that one. And the one up the tree that got hit by the crossbow bolt, it's going to try and hold its position. And I think it's going to recognise that its best chance of survival is with helping you, Rogar, so it's going to continue firing on that one. Oh, if I'm going to say it still has advantage on the one it's firing on the one attacking you, because that one isn't paying it any attention, so it's still got the vantage point, it's still got the distraction of you being there, which means it does get that nat 20.
Oof.
Which it still isn't a big hit, but it's better than nothing. And its second shot, which is a dirty 20. So, yeah. A couple of arrows stud into it. One of them staggers it a little bit. This thing's looking a bit bloodied. The one in front of you. But still not great. Cal, you're up.
Okay, so feeling somewhat surrounded, a little bit threatened, I decide to throw out something I've not used yet.
Okay. Guardian of Faith.
And he's going to drop in there.
So you watch as this large, there's a suddenly whirling column of flame that takes the form of this large hulking torso, flames radiating like spikes up its back, and as it coalesces into shape, some of the flames suddenly harden, take on an almost kind of like magma rock type appearance. So,
I might not have thought it through as well I thought I had.
Sorry, what was that?
I said, bear in mind this may or may not work because I might not have thought it through as well as I thought it had.
So
But-
any creature hostile to you that moves to a space within 10 feet of the Guardian for the first time on a turn must make a save. Okay, so it's not going to do damage right now. That moves to a space.
That's ambiguous. It's like it wouldn't hit the guys it spawns next to.
Which seems a bit weird,
Yeah.
if I'm honest.
So the way I'm reading it, it's like Spirit Guardians almost, but it's more like an attack of opportunity sort of Spirit Guardian. So
yeah.
like the creature can't be. It doesn't
I don't
get
know,
attacked just for being next to it. It has to literally move with it.
Previously, we've done it that way, haven't we? If they've
Because I know I was getting Spirit Guardians wrong.
we've done it that way, but
It's also large in size, is it?
It is
not?
large, yeah. Good point.
That's 4 squares.
No.
So it's quite a meaty looking thing. I mean, reading the wording of it, yeah, they've got to move, but that seems kind of messed up. I would suggest...
You could get creative with it and then just push them closer to it.
Yeah.
true.
Yeah,
'cause
I would
it's-
suggest, Cal, so that we go by the word of rules on it at the moment, I'd say put it up more between Rogar and those crossbow ones, and it stops them from moving,
Yeah.
potentially, if they want to get any closer. Or put it near the mage.
I was going to put it near the mage initially, and then I thought, well, I can get it to do some damage first.
Yeah, no, I think the way it's going to work, I think first time using it and all, I would say, my advice, put it by the mage, and it might be one... I think that doesn't make a lot of sense, so we might look at changing how that works.
It might be worth looking at a
Like an errata, yeah.
or a sage advice.
See what people think, because that seems a bit weird. Anyway, put it there for now, and it should help protect him from anything that wants to get close to him. I'd say that's still a good use of spell, because he's your way out at the moment.
Yeah, I was going to do it earlier, but then I thought I will wait and see how it pans out, and obviously realising these things aren't taking damage from me burning the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
So Jeremy Crawford, confirms. Simply being within 10 foot does not trigger the spell.
That's
It's triggered
weird.
by creature's movement.
That is weird. All right, we'll look at that, because it seems a bit less impressive a spell otherwise. Okay, all right, so that's your action. Can you do anything for a bonus?
No.
No. Okay, so that's going to be a turn.
Wearing my mask.
So noticing this, the mage does almost lose concentration for a moment, seeing this thing coalesce next to them, but realising that it's friendly, seems a little bit more reassured and quickly continues their incantations, mumbling. The bodyguard is looking noticeably quite scared now, quite worried, but it's going to hold its ground. Grishnak, you're up.
Right, so first things first, I'm going to try and finish off this bugger.
Yep.
And take a big, risky swing at him.
Do it. That hits. Yeah, that's enough. And you just swing at the midriff, cut this thing in two, and both halves burn away to ash as they fall.
Okay, I'm going to quickly, sort of hurriedly look around the battlefield and realise that I need to stop this guy from getting closer to the mage. So I'm going to
Okay.
go for that guy.
Focus rage, I like it. That'll hit. Not a big roll, unfortunately. Okay. Still, every little helps. Okay, so that'll be your turn.
That will be my turn.
The creatures. Right. So, Gotrek, you're going to have a flurry coming at you.
Bring it.
Whole load of them. 6 attacks. Ready? 13.
Miss.
18.
Miss.
19. Nope, sorry,
Miss.
14.
Miss.
18.
Miss.
14.
Miss.
20. Dirty 20.
Miss.
Fuck you, man. That was a natural 20 on the other one. I will have you one day. I will claim you.
Never.
Okay.
Not today.
The one that you've just moved over to Grishnak, I mean, seeing the scout vulnerable, it's going to swing down at the scout. They're going to raise their short sword up. I mean, they're barely keeping themselves on their feet, and as the halberd comes down, they raise their short sword up kind of feebly to parry the blow. The halberd cuts straight through the blade and almost slices them in two. And then it's going to turn to you with a wide swing. That's a 21 to hit you.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
That'll be 5 halved to 2. That's a
That's
low
okay.
damage roll. It did all the damage to the person who was on 1 hit point. You got lucky there. Meanwhile, the crossbow guy down here is going to take aim at Elnor and fire. Natural 20. Luckily, it rolled shit. It rolled a 5 and a 1, so she's only going to take the 6 points of damage. She manages to stifle a little grunt of pain as the crossbow bolt thuds into her thigh. I did that wrong. There we go. These two, however, are going to come up and going to fire at the Doug, the other bodyguards. That's a 6 and a 15. The 15 will hit. And that'll slam into his abdomen, cause him to cry out in pain a little bit. Over here, okay, so there's going to be a swing. They're going to jab at Ramsey. That's a 24 to hit Ramsey.
Yeah, that hits.
For 7 slashing.
Okay.
And then reverse and swing at you, Ruri, for 14.
Doesn't hit.
Okay, and then there's going to be this guy's going to move in around you. This guy's going to move in, which does bring him within range. So it was a dex save, I believe, against the Guardian of Faith. Yeah, dexterity saving throw, which gives him a 17, so he takes 10 points of damage. But as it steps around to get close to you, Ruri, this thing brings up one massive arm and slams it down. The creature does manage to step aside and doesn't get hit directly by the arm, but there's like this flash of flaming radiance that's given off when it impacts the ground that sears across the creature. But it is then going to... Yeah, it's going to weigh up his options and it's going to swing at you. That's a 24 to hit you, Ruri.
Yep.
For 7 slashing.
Okay.
And that's going to be another 24 to hit you.
Okay.
Actually, no, it would sink. No, it would make its second swing at Ramsey. So that's 24 to hit Ramsey.
Yeah.
For 12 slashing.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Cal, you've got a couple coming at you. It's a natural 20. For 16 points of slashing. Oh, you are kidding me. It's another natural 20.
Shit the bed.
For another 16 points. So 32. Okay. Rogar. This one's going to come in and stop by you. So you're going to have an 11 to hit you.
No.
A 15.
No.
Did I click that? Oh, I didn't click that. A 22.
Yes, but I'll cast shield as a reaction.
Okay, yep.
So Valorian comes out with his shield.
And then a 9.
No.
Crossbow bolts. There's going to be one coming at Cal for 17. I believe that misses. Oh no, meets it, beats it. So that's another 7 piercing.
Fuck me.
One coming at you, Rogar, because you've been a bit of a bulwark at the moment, impeding their progress. That's a natural 1, so it slams into the back of the one attacking you, but it doesn't really seem to notice.
Stupid idiot.
And then another one's going to fire up at the scout, but it's going to miss with an 8. Okay, so that brings us round to Eleanor again. She's going to manoeuvre around this thing to be on the other side of, opposite side to you, Grishnak. She's going to lash out with her rapier again. That's a 26. Plus her sneak attack for another 6, so that's 18. Oof. Obviously halved, but it's pretty good. And if she lunges again, that's going to be another pretty solid hit. Drives into the back of this thing's leg and tries to like push and force it down. This thing's now on its knees before you, Grishnak, but it's still alive. Ruri, you're up.
Right. Can Ramsey attack without...
Ramsey can, because it's facing the other way. It can kick back with its back hooves.
Yes, I would love to do that.
Or goat kick.
On that one.
Yep. Do your thing. Try and push
It'll
on
happen. You just wait. You watch. It'll happen. Yeah.
No, it won't.
Cool.
Okay, Okay, so that's Ramses.
Cool. I'm gonna spirit weapon the same one.
Okay. That'll hit.
Nice. Big 5.
Big 5. It's looking bloodied.
Still good.
For your action.
Do. For my action,
What are you doing?
I will. House close. All right. I'm just gonna. I'll sacred flame it as well.
All right. Sacred Flame on the creature. It's a 21 on his
So there's no
save.
point me rolling it.
No.
Cool.
No, shrugs
I'll
that
be here
off.
if anyone needs me.
Rogar,
Um,
did you take your 14 damage?
When?
The first attack before you shielded.
No.
Uh,
Oh,
yeah, so you should be on 25 right now.
okay, that's fine. Sorry, I must have missed that. Okay, so
Sorry, there's a lot going on.
shit's getting wild.
We'll try and wrap up soon. I don't know, I kind of want to see if we can see this through.
Yeah.
Obviously, if it gets a bit desperate, then let me know.
I'm going to bonus action
Yes.
cast Thunderous Smite.
Okay,
That's not linking.
that's fine. I'll quickly bring it up.
Um,
I know what
and then I'm
does.
going to attack. This is the guy I've been. No, it's this guy.
No,
in
it's
front
the
of
other
me.
one, yeah. That's the one looking bloodied.
Right, so I'm going to minus that spell slot. Okay, and then I'm going to attack with Viridian.
Yep.
26.
26, so do your normal damage.
And I'm going to throw on a second level smite as well. So get ready for some dice.
Cool.
So 9 slashing.
Yep.
And then 2d6 thunder.
Yep.
So that's 7 thunder
16
damage.
so far.
And then a strength saving throw, DC 15.
Absolutely. Strength save 16.
Okay, that's fine. And then the second level smite,
That's 3d8.
21 radiant.
So as you cut into it, there's that thunderous boom of energy, and then the blade flashes. It cuts deep into the creature, which lets out this kind of growling moan, and then the blade, already sunk deep into the creature, flashes with energy as you hear Valorian roar deep inside your head, but also in your heart. You feel it, and that pulse of radiant light just obliterates the creature.
Then I'm going to thrust sideways at this fucker. Get out of here, you.
You. That'll hit.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so then a second level smite on that guy as well.
Do it.
8 slashing. Boo.
I
Second
know.
level smite, 15 radiant.
So total of 23. 9. Oh yeah. Okay. So it's looking bloodied. That was a staggering blow.
And then I will hold ground.
Hope for the best. Gotrek.
Yep.
Yep. Death save.
Sorry if I sound like I'm snapping. I just want to move.
No, it's
Try
good.
and clip this one along.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Back
Sif
up with
is Sif feeling the kind of desperation of the situation. Sif kind of staggers to its feet slowly behind you. That's at the end of its turn. Death saves, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all Sif can do for now. But Sif is up.
Can I kind of command her to bolt to the?
It's the end of her turn.
Oh, it's the end of her turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, but is it an action or something that I need to do to command her?
I would say yes. If you're not mounted, then yes, you'd need to do like an animal handling thing. I would say you don't need to do animal handling, but because you'd need to do an action to do an animal handling, it would take. Yeah, you need an action to give her an instruction if you're not mounted.
Okay.
I'd say you're probably better off just trying to thin out the fuckers around you.
I don't know what to do.
Hit them. You got bless up. You got your spiritual weapon. I'd say just go ham on one of them.
I've been trying to hit this one. He still doesn't want to go down. I'll try my bonus. So bonus action hit. Trying to hit.
Yep.
That one.
This one there, spiritual weapon.
Because I was tempted to do a level 4 spirit guardians, but I can't.
They do seem quite resistant to magic.
Yeah. And I have a question for you after, but we can wait till after.
Yeah. You can
what
type it
is
to me as well if you
doing
want on someone else's turn. It's alright, I know it's lagging for you a little bit. So that'll hit. Do your damage. Okay, it all adds up, man. It all adds up. I'd say go in with your hammer, dude. You got bless up.
Yeah, no, yeah, and I shall go in with the hammer next as well. You weapon!
There you go.
Taste thunder!
Alright then.
Yeah, boy.
So that's 6 at 14 plus another, yeah.
Oh,
As you
dude.
slam into the hammer and that booming shock of lightning, thunder, just obliterates it. You see it just explodes into pieces and all the pieces just incinerate in that little kind of, into ash, red sparks. So that's one down.
Right.
Okay,
It took like 4 turns.
Yeah, that's what you got to do, man. Sometimes it is best just to go ham. Just go all out. Trying to be clever is great, but sometimes it's better just to attack.
I think that's all I can do.
I think that is, unless you want to move, but I think you probably want to stay where you are right now.
Nope.
The scout, the last remaining scout, is going to fire on that one attacking you in the back. That's an 8. And so it's a, yeah, even if I give it the advantage for its position, that's still only a 15. So yeah, the first arrow studs into the ground next to its feet, Rogar, and the other one, you hear it clang onto the back armor, but nothing doing. They're going to hold position. I think they feel they can probably do the best. Contribute the most from there. Cal, you're up.
Okie dokie. Given how shit my melee attack was.
Well, you rolled low.
Yeah. Fuck it, I'll do it again.
Okay, that doesn't hit, I'm afraid.
Yay,
Just
winning.
shy. Bonus action?
I don't have any.
No? Okay. Bring us to the top of the next round. The mage does call out, almost there, just a little longer. This guy is going to quickly run in, and he's going to swing at this this creature who's looking pretty rough. And he does have pack tactics, so he will have advantage on this one, which is good because that means he gets an 8 instead of an actual 1. He's going to swing again. That's a 21. Oh, that's not quite enough damage. That thing's looking rough. Yeah, that's his turn now. He's going to try and run back up because he would. He's going to kind of looks at you guys, seeing this thing's still alive, looks at you, looks at the mage, kind of all exposed as those two guys are reloading their crossbows, the ones up near Sif, and just kind of shakes his head and runs back over to try and shield the dude, which means he will take an attack of opportunity as he runs, which misses him. Is the creature like flailing? It's using one hand to steady itself. It just swings out the halberd one-handed but misses. Grishnak, you're up.
Right, so I am going to try and finish him off first.
He looks like shit, man. He's barely there. That'll hit. I mean, you're guaranteed, yeah. You just give a little coup de grace.
Wait. Right, so now, just out of interest, this is a cliff here, isn't it?
Yes, it's about 15 feet.
Not very good then. Right, well, that's one of my ideas out the window. So I think I'm going to go for the ones that are trying to shoot crossbows at the mage. So I'm going to go up to this fella and
good shout.
give him a swing.
Good shout.
Oh, you fucker.
Oh, unlucky. No, that's not going to do it. Sorry. Okay. But, you know, you're getting in their face. Right. They are going to... Well, these guys are going to move up to carry on at you, Gotrek. Although, actually, yeah, that one's going to move up and it's going to swing at you twice. That's a 9 and a 24. This one is going to try and move away. So you may attack of opportunity it.
That's an... oh, shit. If only I had Warcast.
I'm sorry. You do have Bless up.
Swing.
It's going, don't worry. It's just, obviously, it hates you. No, sorry. But because it's moving
really
away, don't
hate
worry, you're not getting retaliated against. But yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's going to swing at that guy. 13, which actually does hit him.
Oh, what?
Yeah. For 10 points.
I need to write a review for the Zentarum.
Bloke looks pretty crippled.
I was gonna
And
say,
with the
they
second
suck.
blow, just comes around and just decapitates.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Eleanor cries out, Aldred!
Oh. Oh, no, he's not within 10 feet of that thing yet, is he?
No, if he took another step forward, he would be. Okay. And the other one's going to step up. He's going to aim his crossbow at the dude, at the mage. That's a 7. It just whistles past him harmlessly. In fact, it whistles past him into the Spirit Guardian, Guardian of Faith, where the bolt just flares into flame, sparks out. But the other one is going to move up there and is going to take a shot also at the mage. It hasn't actually left your... I think that's a 16. That's going to hit. An arrow thuds into his side. He cries out a little bit in pain. DC 10. He's okay. He carries on concentrating on the spell he's trying to cast. The one in front of you, Rogue Grishnak. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Ooh, this is an improvised weapon, so he's just gonna. I'm gonna have to roll this one. Who's doing the heavy breathing? So it is just gonna be a. Yeah, he rolls an 8 to try and smack you with the butt of his crossbow.
Nope.
Nothing happening there. Okay, that's all the ones on that side. Alright, Rogar, one attacking you. That's going to be 13.
Nope.
And then that 20.
That'll hit me.
For an 18 slashing.
Holy shit.
I'm sorry?
Gortrek, Grishnak, yeah. Your side's not going so bad. The other side? Okay.
Oh, jeez, guys.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez, Rick.
So, at Ramsey, that's a 15.
I believe that hits.
It does. So that's 8 slashing on Ramsey.
Oh, good.
And then against you, Ruri. When that decides to come through. Pretty sure I clicked it. I'll click it again, so it's not responding. It's an 18 to hit you, Ruri.
Oh, that's not enough to hit a Rory.
Oh. Okay. The 21 is.
Yeah.
11 points of slashing to Ruri.
I am down.
Oh, God, no.
Oh, and it's going to then swing at Ramsey for 21.
Yep.
6 points against Ramsey.
Yep.
And then 2 at you, Cal.
What?
From this one down here.
What?
That's a 23 to hit.
What?
For 10 points of slashing. And a 16 to hit.
Miss.
So the second one misses. Okay. You're hanging in there.
How many points of slashing damage?
10. If anyone's got any healing spells, might be a time to start whipping them out. Crossbows. One is going to fire at the scout in the trees. That's an 18, which will hit, but thankfully only 4 points of damage. One at you, Rogar, for 14.
No.
And then one at you, Cal, for 12.
Miss.
Okay. Elnor sees the bodyguard go down, cries out and runs up, positioning herself next to the mage. And it's going to lash out with her rapier a couple of times. It's going to be a 26. Plus her sneak attack. That's going to be a total of 8. Okay. And then again, 17 for another hit, but yeah. Kind of lashing, whipping into it with the tip of her rapier, but it doesn't seem to care too much. Ruri. Death save, please. Yeah. I will say Ramsey, do a kick for Ramsey as it tries to lash out in a mixture of panic and protectiveness.
Let's see.
Go on, Ramsey, get a crit. Ooh! Ramsey got a crit.
Oh,
Nice.
Go on, Ramsey. So, yep, so manages to kick that thing in the face.
And they did max damage as well.
Did. Oh, no, he rolled 2 ones.
What a lad.
Did minimal damage, really.
Well, what hit dice?
2d4.
2d4 plus 3. So yeah, not great. Right. So death save for Ruri, that was a 2, so that's 1 failure.
Mhm.
Rogar.
Oh my god. I think. Would I be aware that Rory's gone down?
Yeah, you'd heard him cry out, I imagine.
I think, yeah, I'm going to back away and incur a attack of opportunity from this fucking
Risky
clown.
business.
Yep.
It's a 20.
Natural or dirty?
Dirty.
I will reaction cast shield.
Okay, good, because that would have been 13 slashing.
Yeah. And then I will use my last point of lay on hands on Rory to bring him back.
Okay.
And that's my action. Bonus action. I'm going to use my breath weapon. I'm going to use my fearsome roar.
Fearsome roar.
Yeah. Let me. There. So each creature of my choice within 30 feet of me.
Yep.
So
as you let out a bellowing roar.
So 1, 2, 3, 5, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy as well up here.
Yep.
Okay, so that's
that one.
They seem entirely unperturbed.
Okay, worth a shot.
Yeah.
Immune to fear, I'm guessing.
Might be.
Might be, yeah. Okay, that's all she wrote.
Gotrek.
Sorry, I'm being really indecisive. I'm gonna have to take a bonus action swing on this.
Go ham man.
Try and die.
Do.
Die.
That'll hit. I'm gonna. What is it? Level 2.
Level 2.
Okay, just 'cause it's going quicker for me, I'm gonna click that if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
So that's 8 points.
And then I'm gonna go for my. Go. Bless doesn't affect damage, does it?
No, do attack roll, but that already hits.
Boom.
So 7 plus 5, so that's 12. 5. Yep, that one's looking bloodied. Okay, that'll be your turn, unless you want to remount.
That's an action, isn't it?
Yeah, actually, I think we decided it was, didn't we? Yeah, okay, so that'll be an action. So the scout is going to take their shot from where they are. I'm going to carry on firing at the same one. They're not going to have advantage. No, they hit anyway, so that's hits for a bit, but that one's going to miss. Okay, Cal, take your go, and then we will wrap up after this round because it's getting late.
Because I haven't really, for good reason, I've been paying attention tonight. I've had a few things going on.
That's all right.
Did any of these things take damage from radiant damage?
Radiant seems to have been affecting them, yes.
But mine, Channel Divinity is not radiant anymore.
No, it's flame.
Yeah, it's flame. So I clicked the wrong button then, sorry. Right, hold on. I will do. That's fire. Fucking everything's fire. Guiding bolt. This one.
Okay, you will have disadvantage on this because he's right in your face.
Yeah.
So you roll again. Okay, so that is unfortunate, but the 18 does hit. So you will hurt it.
Level 3.
Just throwing it out there, do any of you still have inflict wounds prepared?
Yeah. Well, no, it's
Maybe.
only necrotic. Why?
What? I've got inflict wounds. I thought that won't work. It's fucking magic. It's not.
Do you want to give it a try? I'll allow you. I mean, I'll allow you a do-over on
It's-
this one if you want to try it.
It's an attack roll, innit? It's not saving throw.
It is attack roll.
No,
Yeah.
I thought it's necrotic, not radiant.
It is necrotic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is necrotic.
Is it
Yeah.
necrotic?
In fairness, I mean, if they're taking from radiant, there's 22 points of damage.
Yep. So you want to stick with the guiding bolt for
Yeah.
22 damage? Yep. No, that's probably wise. Okay, so that'll be. Oof, yeah, that one's looking bloody now. That was a heavy hit. As you just point blank blast it straight in the chest. Okay. We will go ahead and end there because it's coming up for 20 to midnight, and
Oh my god.
I don't want people getting in trouble with spouses. But, whew. Yeah. So go on then. What do people think's happening right now?
Things
I
are.
reckon Dragon Cult have sent them for us.
You think? Okay.
Possibly.
No, I reckon the Zent's got enemies and we're just in the middle.
No, I reckon the Zint's trying to take our eggs.
I don't think that's what's happening at all.
Yeah, let's sacrifice a bunch of their people for that.
Yeah, but
definitely.
the greater
Yeah.
good.
It's one of those things.
Later, good.
So they're immune to fire. They
Yep.
burst into fire when you
Kill them. Yep.
They're sort of resistant to magic, but like saving throw magic, not attack roll magic.
I mean, are they something to do with Cal?
So with who? With Cal?
Cal, yeah.
Um,
Kasu.
Dude,
Mm.
Kasu think trying to nick our eggs and kill me.
I don't think they're trying to nick our eggs. I think they're really. I don't know.
Okay, let me just. But then hopefully, if that motherfucker's trying to kill me, they're gonna have words.
Well,
Yeah.
this might be something for you guys to try. Well, if you survive, something for you to look into.
Oh, shut the
Um,
fuck up.
I
If
will
we
say,
survive. Oh god.
I mean, obviously this is a bit of an objective-based battle. You are trying to hold out long enough for him to finish casting teleportation circle, essentially. Unless you guys, well, I
How
mean,
many ranks do we have?
you've had 5 rounds. He said you
You're
had
only
a minute to go.
Halfway there.
You're halfway there.
Whoa.
So would we know? I suppose we wouldn't really know if teleportation required his concentration to hold it.
No, not really. I mean, obviously
I don't
he needs to be focusing on it to finish casting
Yeah.
it. Essentially, that's why he's not been doing anything because he's still in the process of casting the spell.
And also, we're going to be like if we're bailing out while these guys are still alive, we're going to have to take the Zents with us. Are we comfortable taking like 2 Zentarim agents to
I don't think we
Mithril?
get a choice.
Well, we'll see what happens. We will pick up with this at the start of next week's session. We'll see how this one plays out. So, well, I hope it's been as tense for people watching as it has been for us to play. I'm kind of shitting myself here.
Yeah, man.
Fucking died again.
You're all right. You're not dead yet. But it's been touch and go for a couple of you, and you're not out of the woods yet. So anyway, thanks to everyone for watching. Thanks to all of you for playing and being good sports. I appreciate this might feel like the challenge has suddenly leapt up a little bit, but
Yeah,
gotta be
baby.
careful who you make enemies of. Anyway, we'll see how this one resolves next week. Good night, all.